Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my...
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another Chelsea match review show. And it's going to be a match review slash Chelsea News show, Chelsea News roundup show, mashup of both, but all fun as usual because we keep it interactive here. Here, your opinion matters. It's not just about the panelists, but about you. We try to have a good conversation and come to a sensible conclusion. I do hope you're all doing well, more importantly, and thank you so much for finding the time to be part of the conversation. Thank you once again. We're getting closer and closer to 30,000 subscribers. We're currently at 28 plus. Sorry, I can't say we're currently at 28,275 subscribers, even though we've not been streaming consistently, but that changes from now on. But more importantly, thank you for joining us. And I have my friend, and Jay is in the house. Jay says, big up. A great result all round the league in our favor. You could argue, we had a similar situation, I think 2 seasons ago or last season, but we didn't take the opportunities. But again, it never, you could say, we had a lot of issues, and again, we tried hard to take you can say to take advantage of the similar situation that I had mentioned, but we couldn't. But that's by the way. Nice to see you, Jay. I do hope you're doing well. And if my memory serves me right, you were concerned with regards to the lineup. Yeah. Let me know if that wasn't the case. And Blue Lions, Chelsea, big up to you too. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. He says, big up, coach. Big up to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. And here's the plan for today. We won't go news hunting first, but more importantly, yes, Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. And you could argue it's simple. The big guns started the game for us. I don't like to use the term starting 11 because, modern football, I believe there's no such thing. But at least we know players who are better at fulfilling certain roles. So it'd be easy to just say, I think this is our starting 11 or that is our starting 11. But that's, by the way, more importantly, thank you. You could argue the reason was that we had the big guns started the game for us, and it was so easy. I think the game ended with we'll look at the numbers. Let me not just quote something off, you can say, off the top of my head and be so wrong that I'd be apologizing. But we'll look at the game, look at talk about individual performances, and talk about Garnacho surprising a lot of people, especially those who weren't able to look beyond his so-called attitude issue and judge him for a good player that he is. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have Shay Wendy in the house. Shay Wendy 44452. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's 5:15 p.m. CST for me. Yeah. But nice to see you. Thank you for reposting the stream. Yeah, you're looking for trouble. I'm not gonna say anything to you, Ty. Nightbot will do he will go to war against you for my sake, on my behalf, maybe. Let's see, everyone. Tell them. Let's see. Yeah, the Karabakh match, not the Wolves match. Were you? I thought you did. You did complain about Josh Achampong not starting. I think you did say something to that effect. You weren't happy that Josh wasn't on the pitch. But Chaloba was brilliant on the day, in my opinion. And as I've said before, I'm just happy that we recalled him from Crystal Palace when we did. That proved to be a good decision, and he can only get better. He's not perfect, but then again, it's become a culture to finger point. So whenever we don't do well, some section of the fan base will almost always find one particular player to blame for the loss or for the bad performance, even on occasions where again would see clearly that the entire 11 players on the pitch didn't do well. And big up to you too, IB. I do hope you're doing well. It says big up everyone except Liverpool fans because we are still celebrating their defeat. If you remember when they signed Ikitika and then signed Isaac, I think some people in the live chat session were saying if they signed what's his name, Isaac, that's it, that they're definitely going to win the league. And I told them, look, eventually it will click for them, but they will struggle because you can't make that many changes and lose an important player as Luis Diaz and think you can say you just click like this next season. It doesn't work like that. But that's by the way, Christian David is in the house. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Evening. Really enjoyed being at the bridge yesterday. Not the time though. 8 p.m. Saturday game. Crazy. Glad you were there and glad it was a win. You probably had a lot of fun because it was a win, and there was no time in the game that it looked as if we were going to lose or even draw the game. Even though the first half ended 0-0, it was clear that we were definitely going to win that one. Even I didn't expect us to not concede, but we didn't. We didn't even allow them too many spaces to create chances, let alone score. Yeah, so I'm happy for you. Low blocks are still an issue to play against, and I mean, yesterday wasn't an issue. And did they really defend that deep? Even if they did, the first 15 to let's say 20, 25 minutes, we did create a lot of chances. The only thing we didn't do was put away the chances. I remember one from Garnacho. He volleyed it. Was it the one he volleyed it and he hit the ground before getting to the goalkeeper? One was Enzo Fernandez redirecting Kukureya's shot, and the other one was a volley shot also against the ground, the carpet, stadium carpet, that the goalkeeper made a good save. So we had good enough chances to actually put the game away in the first half. But you could argue we weren't lucky, or maybe too casual. I'm not sure what else to say. My camera starts to flicker again. I'm not sure what causes that, and I'm not sure how to deal with that. But I'm just gonna let it flow like that. Hopefully, it stops. Thank you. I appreciate you, Blue Lions Chelsea. I appreciate you saying that. Okay, if we are second, we're in third place right now because City, yeah. If we were second or third by what? By January transfer window, do we bring in who from Strasbourg as reinforcement? Listen, there are I listen. I'm not sure. It's up to the manager and the SZs to decide. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. Sorry, apologies. I hope you can still hear me. I'm not sure why my camera isn't stable. It's just flickering. Ty, you're looking for a fight. I didn't. You're looking for a fight there. You're lucky you're a moderator. Otherwise, Nightbot would just block you. All right, let's go news hunting. Let's go news hunting. What else? First item, nothing serious here. Marcus Rashford, not our business there. And this year, Vince is complaining. Not a complaint though. He's just, you can say, presenting that outcome to his followers. He reads, so Premier League didn't give Estevao the assist last night because of deflection. But we know you can say his hard work on can led to us getting that. Was it the second goal? Yeah, getting the second goal against Wolves. It doesn't matter whether he's given the assist or not. That doesn't change how we view his impact the moment he was introduced. A few seconds on the pitch, he made that move that led to us getting the second goal. So it doesn't matter whether he gets a counter and assist for him or not. What matters is how us Chelsea fans, how we view it. It says, Shai, Dante is borrowing you. No, Wi-Fi isn't. The Wi-Fi isn't the issue. If Wi-Fi was the problem, I don't think you'd be hearing the audio too. It has to do with the camera or maybe the web app that I'm using for the stream. I'm not sure why that is happening. I don't like it. The other day it happened. I had to go out and come back in. It might be. I think it looks like a browser issue because I remember when I tried to record um, a YouTube short news, something similar happened. I had to log out and log back in for it to stop. Yeah. Let's see. Coach is having a party over there. Look how he's dancing on camera. Exactly. That's another way to see it. I'm not sure what's going on there, and I do not want to go out and come back in. Let me see if I can find a solution here. You see, I just disappeared. I don't think the lighting is the problem, is it? No, not sure. Let me see if I can sort that out quickly. All right, let's see. What do we have here? 59 here. Take it up to 70. It gets worse. So I'm not sure what the problem is right now. The edges. Okay, let's see. Yeah, maybe I just have to find a way to go out and come back in. Maybe that will solve the problem. So with regards to that, it doesn't matter whether his again that counts as an assist for him or not. It doesn't matter. So let's see if anything new. Emma on fire. I think he scored 2 goals for Strasbourg, and yeah, even though he just returned from again, he was on this. He's been injured for a while now, and on his return, he scored a brace. I don't know how the game finished. Maybe he scored not a hat trick. I think if he scored a hat trick, would see that on the screen there. But this reads Emmanuel Emara on criticisms when he was out injured. It was very long, and I saw a lot of BS that people were saying in the media. But as you can see, next time they need to talk more shit, and then I will come back more stronger. Wow, he was he, he he's not a happy camper right now. Anything new for the moment? Okay, this is important. I think this is Vince quoting Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru himself. I think I need to go out and come back in. Please be patient with me. I'm not sure why this is happening. So let me try and fix the. Oh my word! It's still happening. I'm not sure what else to do here. Um, I'm not sure. But give me 1 second. I really need to find a solution to this. Otherwise, the stream will be crappy all through. I think it's a browser issue. Maybe I'll stop using the browser. Big up Ty, thank you for joining the panel. I appreciate you. Right on time because I want to log out entirely and come back in.
Oh, I was. Yeah, that's why I joined.
Help. Okay, I appreciate that. So this week, for the moment, it's quiet. It's quiet, so to speak. Chelsea haven't started any advanced negotiations with any player, and they are quite happy with what they are, with what they are doing. And the other one reads: Chelsea are happy with their squad and are not seeking any player and have not started any conversations with any new centre back for the January transfer. To some extent, if you look at the fact that we have Anselmino on loan at Dortmund and Mamadou Sarr recently got a call up for the was this Senegalese national team. You'd argue that yeah, it makes sense that no, we're not looking to sign centre backs, but at the same time, if you look at the players we have, some will argue we do need experienced centre backs to come help lead our back line. But Ty, let's hear your opinion, your thoughts on that. While you speak, I'm going to log out and try to come back in to see if that the flickering issue will be solved. Go ahead.
All right, no problem. Right. I mean, I think that is the I think that's a good thing. On in all honesty, because we do have centre backs that you have to be thinking about the current the current and also the future. And the futures will also entail players like Aaron Alson Mino. You have the likes of Mamadou Sarr, who looked promising in the few instances that we got to see him. So in terms of that, it's not necessarily a area of the pitch where you need to make a signing. The only time that becomes a case is if you're gonna sell like a Tosin or a player, and of course you want to replace them so that you have enough players to call upon. But of course, I think that's good because we do have players, we do have those centre backs that are doing promising and can offer something in the future if they continue to develop in the way that perhaps you want to see. So I'm happy with that. We do have centre backs. A lot of people makes it seem like we don't have centre backs. Perhaps we don't have some of those centre backs available, but you don't want to be signing a whole bunch of centre backs and then you have an issue of you have to find ways of offloading. And we know the whole situation with having to spend. Um, you have to sell before you can buy. So the whole spending limitation stems from there as well. So we have to be cautious. We also have to think from a financially stone standpoint as well. So that is very important. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what Anson Mino and Mamadou Sarr can do as they continue to get that game time at Dortmund and at Strasbourg respectively. So yeah, it's very important that we do so. But in terms of what Jay is saying here, oh well, okay, yeah, cool. Um, I can understand what Jay is saying in all honesty because it, of course, having a discussion that was had, with Dante and other individuals that were on the panel, um, for the pre-game to Wolves, it makes you think that okay, what's the reason for having not played Josh Achingpong or resting him or whatever the case may be or rotating if in the end you're not going to be playing certain players. But I don't think it was a case where he was missed. It's just a case of is his development or is his further game time being limited by the fact that he's not getting game time because Josh Achingpong is a very calm player on the ball. He's very composed. He can offer something different and unique, and he offers you that versatility. He's naturally a right back, but of course he can play as a centre back as well. So of course that gives you the versatility that perhaps would be good. But at the same time, I think he's young. He's 19 years old, so there's not much of a rush on playing him as well. But it does make you wonder what the mindset was of Maresca because he said in his press conference, even pre Wolves, that he loves to rotate and he thinks rotating is important. But it made you wonder, was the rotation necessarily for 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 resting players, or if it was just a case of rotating so that you can give as much minutes to other players who perhaps didn't get to play enough minutes in the two games prior to the Carabao game, for example. But yeah, considering what Jay's saying, I can understand the whole thing of you can praise Maresca when he gets things right or when he deserves it, and criticism is also vital. But yeah, I, I'm I'm sure it makes sense. And of course, there's a lot of things to be positive about. We got a win, so I'm not going to be gloomy and doomy about about everything otherwise because we actually won. It's 3 points and 3 goals, and we're sitting third, I think, um, for the international period. So there's a lot to be thankful for and grateful for. So in that sense, that's the case. Oh Lord,
Yeah, sorry, Ty. You see, it got worse, right? So I'm not.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
damn.
I just ended. I'm not sure what I should be here.
Oh, sheesh. Wow. Damn.
I think I've had this issue before, but I'm not sure how I solved it.
Damn. Yeah, that's it got worse.
Yeah, just give me a few seconds. Let me see. I'm still here. My goodness. So what is going on here? Yeah. Oh, so Dante's on the back there speaking. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
What's
yeah,
going on again, guys?
he's been at the backstage for a while too. But obviously,
Oh, yeah, because I wasn't there to add him.
yeah, right.
My word. What's
System
going on here?
error loading.
I mean, it's like I said, he's having a dance party. We won against Wolves, so that's why.
Even it's still flickering. So I think it's a browser issue.
It's all right. We don't
Yeah,
need to see you, coach. It's fine.
oh god.
I'm not talking to you.
You just talk. We don't need to see you. It's all right. We've seen you all the time. We see you. It's fine.
Oh gosh.
Let's go ahead. Let's yeah. Let's. Hmm. Well, let me read what we have in the chat. I can go off camera and then still try to fix it. So, but that's by the way. What do we have here? Let's see. Where did I stop? I read ties coming, and here Jay is saying that Josh was arrested for what? Then, we don't know his situation. We don't know whether he was fit enough. Remember, I think we've had similar conversation before when we were busy complaining that he wasn't getting game time, and it turns out he was ill. He wasn't fully fit, didn't train for a while. We didn't know until the manager told us, even though to show you that the fact that he didn't get to play, that something maybe must have happened that we don't know. Because if after he returned from, you could say, a few days of absence, that we heard from the manager that he wasn't fully fit because he was ill, he still played him. That's to show over, you could say, some other experienced players that were on the bench on the day. So I don't think he'd be fully fit and would not, and you could say still didn't get a chance to play. I admire Maresca, but I will be praising him where he deserves it and criticizing him where he deserves it. Yeah, you have every right to do so, but the question is, why didn't Josh play? We didn't know, and the journalist during his post-game presser didn't ask him either.
Yeah, I'm not sure these journalists don't ask the proper questions, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Let's see. Blue Lions Chelsea say all roads lead to a Chelsea victory over Barcelona. It's a possibility, but yeah, that day we'll see. And I'd be here saying, I think the real question we should be asking is, will Palmer be healthy post international break? The club has been silent for weeks, making me think it's either surgery or return
Well,
in
is
January.
that true? Is that true, coach? Because the
If
club,
what if what is true?
It can't be
that
surgery.
I don't think that is entirely true that they've been quiet, because I think it was, if it's not the press conference for the Wolves game was the one before, that Maresca specifically said that he's hoping that he'll be back in time for the Barcelona game. So
Hoping, yeah.
I'm not I'm not sure if I mean, nobody. I don't think many people watch the press conferences, to be fair. So probably that's why there's not really much statements coming out about it. But I think there was something about hoping that he'll be back in time for the Barcelona game, at least.
Yeah, but surgery, there would be no surgery. You can't operate on the groin, so there's no surgery. That's not an option for that injury. I know, because that was the only serious injury I had in my whole career. That's the one that's exactly the same, the groin. So yeah, there is no surgery for that. Unfortunately, it's just rest and management. He's always gonna have it. Pretty much the rest of his career, he's gonna have it. It's just about managing it and treatments, and yeah, but you can't operate on the groin unless some new technology's changed, but you can't operate on groin, unfortunately, coach.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
that's
not
funny.
I'm not a medical expert, so it's a medical. He's a sports medical expert. Ty, go ahead.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
No, no, I'm just laughing because the way Dante said that you can't.
I was trying to put a bit of spin on it for coach so he gets excited, but yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I said. Because you can hear that there's a deliberate. This it was deliberate.
Yeah, Dante. Before we get there, a lot of people in the chat are interested in talking about Chelsea's game against Barcelona on 25th of November. But yeah, before we get to that, your thoughts on uh, Jay Jay's complaint about Josh not playing a part in our game yesterday, because a lot of us thought he
Yeah,
was going to start.
yeah, we thought he's going to start. Would have been a good matchup, but in the end, it was the right decision, obviously, because they didn't do nothing. We kept him to 0.17 or whatever it was, 0.00 at halftime. So it looks like it was the right decision. People are also calling for stability in that back line. And myself, I thought that's important as well. So if you're going to keep it from last week when we did the same against Tottenham, exactly the same. So it was, it was Chalobah with Fofana. So he kept the same back four, the back, those central defenders. And that's important for central defenders. So I didn't mind him keeping that, but he's not playing Josh. Like I said, it would be nice if one of the reporters actually asked the question why,
They
because I'm sure
don't.
Maresca would answer very straight away. He's always been very honest, and he'll answer it. Maybe not training well, like you said, maybe a bit ill, maybe just he's tactically thinks the other two would have done a better job, and you can't argue with that, can you? Because like I said, against Tottenham and this game over the two games, I think it's 0.27 or something, three something XG. So
Yeah, we
yeah,
will look at the numbers. But
yeah,
here's
you
something
can't
else
really
I wanted
argue
to
with
say.
his
I wanted to
selection
say,
with
Dante,
that.
irrespective of what people think of him, Chalobah brings good balance to our defensive line.
Yeah, he's experienced, of course. He's
He's
experienced.
experienced and he's
Yeah,
more of a traditional defender than the others.
yeah. Let's not forget, Josh is a right back first, and he likes to run with the
Now,
ball and
I'm
move.
I'm not comparing, you could
Yeah,
say, their abilities on, or maybe trying to conclude who's better than the other. My point is, irrespective of what people think of Chalobah or how bad they think he is, he brings good balance. Otherwise, we'll just have a lot
exactly.
of ball playing defenders that are not good at, you could say, simplifying things if need be.
Look, Chalobah hasn't been very good
He
before that.
hasn't, but
He
that
hasn't been
doesn't
very
take
good,
away
but
how
he
good
turned it
he's been
around.
before a few games where he made a few mistakes here and there. But you could argue yesterday he repaid the manager's trust.
He did, yeah, yeah, 100%. And that's who Chalobah is. We all know that he'll have two, three really good games. He'll have one really bad game. He's never been consistent in his career. Like never put games together to say he's a top class defender, starting centre back. He's just never been that guy, unfortunately. And yeah, look, he's basically more of a squad player. I don't think he's a nailed on starter in this team either. Obviously, it would be Colwell, obviously, that position. And he's probably the one that's nailed on. And probably Fofana, if fit available, would be the other one. So yeah, look, it is what it is, but he's done very well, like I said, against Tottenham and against there. He's repaid the faith back again. But this is who Chalobah is. He's going to do that. Unfortunately, he's going to have one good game, two bad games, two good games, one bad game. Not much consistency there, and that's just been him all his career, unfortunately. And he's pretty much coming
Bozo
into his
gene.
prime. He's coming into his prime now. It's not really going to change. It's hard for me to see that will change. He's a great squad player, but as your starting centre back, I think he gets found out too many times, and that was proven even at Crystal Palace when he went there on loan. Exactly the same thing.
Ty, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was saying that, in terms of Chalobah as well, the Bozo gene, but Jay's saying that it's with regards to the Carabao match, not the Wolves match.
Okay. Sorry, what did you say, Ty?
No, no, I'm saying that G is saying that what he was saying about Josh, he was saying it was with regards to the Karabag match, as in not playing against Karabag if it wasn't a case where he was going to be playing against Wolves.
Oh, okay, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Again, just who knows? The reporters need to ask those questions. he wasn't training well. Maybe just like when Guy came back, he said Guy wasn't training well. Maybe last time when Josh, like coach said, he said Josh was ill. He wasn't able to train. He was ill. That's why he hasn't been selected.
Yeah, even at
So,
that, he returned and trained had two training sessions. He fielded him against more experienced players that were on the bench on the day. That's to show you how much
correct.
he trusts him, and that
Yes,
trust that I've observed is the reason I don't want to question his decision for leaving him on the bench. Something must be going on that we don't know.
exactly. There's always a reason behind it, but like I said, I trust Maresca and his assistants. They see training every week, and if there's something not quite right, like you said, off or something, they make that decision. That's what they get paid the big money. But I trust they're making the right decision.
I'm never gonna listen. He's not perfect, but in in this instance, honestly, I'm not gonna question his decision. Jay is saying Hansi Flick just now. Pedri and Rafinha would be back after the international break, and you're concerned. That's why you're using that exclamation there. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I'd rather we play them with all their best players available because yeah, it's clear at this point that yeah, we seem to be do well when we play teams that in their full strength rather than a depleted team. Yeah, let's play them. Let Rafinha, let them have two Yamaos on the pitch on the day. I don't care. I don't fear them really. I get concerned when we play teams that are, you could say, struggling or have seven of their best players out. What about Chelsea versus Barcelona? We'll do a match preview show on that one, but not today, Gulam. But nice to see you, Gulam 4. And Jay saying, no, 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 you lot are confusing things. I never asked for Josh against Wolves. It's okay. I thought that maybe I didn't read what you had again. Your comment in the group very well. Dante have brought what? Dante, you haven't heard of a groin surgery due to your Wi-Fi service. All right.
Thank you, IB.
Yeah, let's see, Dante. I wanted to ask you this. I don't know if you've read it. This report here, two of them actually. I'll read both. The first one reads, for the moment, Um, for the moment, it's quiet. It's quiet. Chelsea haven't started any advanced negotiations with any player, and they are quite happy. They are quite happy with what they are doing. Chelsea are happy with their squad and are not seeking any player and have not started any conversations with any new centre back for the January window. Concerning to you, or you see reason why that's the case?
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna take anything right now. They're not. They've just come off a big another game and so many games. They're not looking at that right now anyway. They wouldn't be interested in that right now. So yeah, it's a bit of a nothing comment at the moment. When that window opens, they're always gonna look at someone or something exits as well. They're always
They
gonna.
don't have to tell us, right?
They don't have to tell us, and they've made that clear before that they don't really want to say much going forward. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to take too much into that. There has to be the right opportunity as well, obviously, and we know in January it's not easy to do that as well. So,
Yeah, I've thought about it. Even though we still have Anselmino out on loan, Mamadou Sarr on loan at Strasbourg, I think we do need one experienced head that with leadership qualities for the back line, in my opinion. You can say
yes, I
that.
agree.
I don't know, but it's up to them. Jay is on the panel. Jay, have you joined us to defend yourself, or you just want to be part of the conversation?
So scared.
You there, Jay? We can't hear you if you're there.
Hi guys, big up. Can you hear me?
Big up, man. How you doing?
I'm good, coach. Yeah, I'm not here to defend actually. It's really rarely that I'm awake at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. So this was the opportunity. So I hopped in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. When
Uh,
do you want to come in?
um, I think I should just jump on to the topic that I was discussing in the chat. Uh, I want to make it clear. I'm not really talking about the Wolves game. Like, in no sensible way, I'll say that, after watching the Spurs game and the partnership of Fofana and Chalobah, that I will demand Josh to start. Not at all. In the Premier League, they showed really quality in that match, and they deserve to start. My question was for the Qarabag match, and yeah, as you said, we don't know anything about it. There is no information. He was on the bench for the 3 games, and it just doesn't make sense to me that why he was not started with Dawson.
So
Uh,
you're
and
just seeking answers.
Yeah, I'm just seeking answers. That's exactly my point. If there's an answer like he was injured, he was ill, matter is closed. No issues.
Yeah, but we need to hear. And the journalists these days, you could say they I think it'd be, I don't know if it'd be correct to say they're always busy trying to align their questions with what the fans are most interested in hearing on X, like the things that are necessary. For instance, you know what I mean. They don't ask questions that you could say that gratify the fans' questions. So for lack of a more specific term, there, I'm not just. It just doesn't make sense that they didn't ask why he didn't start against Karabakh and still didn't start against
It's just not
uh,
important for them, coach. That's a very small issue for the reporters. It's nothing too important for them, so they don't really care about that, to be honest.
They're blank when they're blank. They're blank. They only have questions when Chelsea lose.
yeah. I think that's the most accurate thing to say. But Jay, what do you make of the report that we're okay with our squad and we're not looking to sign any? We're not having conversation with the camps of the camp of any centre back. I'm sure you were listening when I read the reports. Your thoughts on that?
I'm not really going to, have a deep thought about these reports because after every individual match, depending on the result, depending on the atmosphere of the, about the mood of the fans, there is a separate report, and it just confuses me because if we have lost the match, or just if we go back to 2 or 3 matches, there was a report that we are extensively looking for new signings in the January transfer window, and just after
Mhm.
2 or 3 matches, now it has completely shifted 180 degrees. So I'm not going to really put a great thought in all these reports because I don't think that they really align with the higher officials of the club, and I think it's just media reporting for clicks.
Yeah, you say whatever we see, they results drive what we see out there on TV, X, social media. Yeah, it all depends on outcome of you can say our last game. I don't know. And international, you guys want to talk about before we start the match review exercise proper? And I think we should definitely talk about Garnacho, how he's become or you can say a more selfless player than he was at United. He's playing more for the team than at Manchester United. I don't know, Dante. Let's start from you. Your thoughts.
Yeah, look, he had a great game.
Could have had up to 4 assists, right?
Could have, should have scored probably. Enzo put him through nicely at the first half. One of the bigger first half chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably should have put that away.
But he didn't take that convincingly.
Yeah, look, it's not. It looks an easy chance, but it's not an easy chance. Over your shoulder, ball bouncing, and you got to hit it
And
on the half
he had
volley.
to take it one time.
One time, it's not that easy. It looks easy, but it's not really that easy at speed. It's different when it's slowed down. They show it, but yeah, it's not that quite that easy of a chance. But still, he should have probably, look, he got contact on it, went to the keeper. Keeper made a save, but yeah, probably should have done a little bit better. But look, yeah, had a great game. Probably one of the players of probably Enzo Fernandez and him probably were the two standouts. I think if you're going to look at the stat, I think they were probably the best sort of players on the field, especially controlling the game. Enzo Fernandez, the threat, probably Garnacho had the more threat. So it was a very good performance in the end. Even the first half, I thought it was a very good performance in that first half. But unfortunately, our fans decided to boo Enzo Maresca and the players at halftime because they were not happy with the performance. But
Honestly,
I still think
I think the booing comes down to lack of understanding of football, really, because
lack of understanding and
we were in control. We just went lucky. That first half, Enzo Fernandez had one opportunity, the one he volleyed that bounced
yes,
bounced on the carpet, and the goalkeeper saved it. Alejandro Garnacho. There were other opportunities too. Why don't they appreciate that? And here's something I've learned. I don't want to call every, you can say, generalize and call them all legacy fans, but I'm just going to stick with it's lack of the understanding of football. They just want us to always push forward, push forward, push forward, even when there is no space and risk losing the ball unnecessarily. They don't understand the importance of keeping the ball. I just don't. But go ahead with what you were saying.
coach, they understand very well. If that was Mourinho, anyone who plays like that, and well, how did Mourinho do it? Same thing. So, you know, boring football 1-0, but he was loved. Doesn't matter. It's like you say, it's the legacy fans. There's a lot of them at EPL games. They have season tickets. There's a lot of them there. Unfortunately, too many of them, and it was just a way, just to have a go. I mean, it was all over Twitter even before the game, the selection. But to boo like that at halftime, now it's not all the stadium; it's only a certain sections
And
where
we
they.
won't play. We didn't play badly in the first half.
I just don't understand how you can boo. Like you said, it's beyond football, coach. It's unfortunate it's beyond football because they hate the ownership. They hate Maresca. Maresca's part of that ownership. Enzo Fernández, the players, they're part of that ownership model as well. They just hate that. And they will always find a way to start something, a chant or boo. And there is a lot of them, unfortunately. But you can't tell me that was a bad half of football when they didn't create 0.00, and we had, I think, 11 shots, two good, really, really good chances. Well, I mean, that's domination in my opinion. And I was very confident the second half. We're going to win that game second half. We're really going to really create more chances because they will tie and they will open up. And as the more the game's on, we're going to win that game. So I was very confident. But I mean, some context, you got a young team like that, traveled 5,000 miles or whatever to Quarterback, different time zones, comes back, and they hear halftime's boos. It's beyond football, unfortunately. And I don't know when that problem will get fixed, if it ever will get fixed. But as long as this ownership is here, I don't think it will ever get fixed, unfortunately. It is what it is. It's just sad because it's the players do hear it, and Maresca heard it as well. He did say that he heard it. And
I mean, you can say their behavior, um, the most accurate definition of fair weather fans. Yeah,
yes,
because
legacy fans like coach.
the
It's
moment
the
we started scoring, yeah, they all started sharing too.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course. Well, they're gonna do that, but it's not. See, the boos come from, like I said, two or three certain sections where the more hardcore supporters are, where you got all these older seasons that are very vocal, that hate ownership. There's a lot of them, so you don't have to have. You can only have a two or three sections booing, and you can hear it at Stamford Bridge because Stamford Bridge is a small stadium that you can hear a lot, and it doesn't have to be like only a quarter of the stadium has to boo, and you'll hear it a lot because that's just the way the stadium is set up. So yeah, it's unfortunate. So I wasn't very happy with that. I don't think that's right. Hopefully the club will look into it. If it continues, there's not much you can do. Well, the only thing is they look into it and maybe hire someone to look at everything and go online and revoke these guys' tickets, season tickets, if especially because they all of them say a lot of nasty things as well, not just that. So not just booing. So that is
yes,
a problem
some
with
of
it.
them just echoing what because what they're hearing from the big accounts. Yeah.
And that as well.
Uh,
But those big accounts are those season ticket
Jay, I
holders
don't
that
know
are part of this
how
group.
much time you have because I know you
So
usually.
those, yeah, they
Mhm.
sit there together, those big accounts. That's where they sit. They're all together. They all know what they're doing. There's only two or three big accounts on X that are really good and supportive of everything. The other 15, 20 of them,
Yeah,
all
that's correct.
they're all together. They all know of each other very well, and they sit in the same sections, and they all do it together. So
Jay, I don't know how long you have because your stay on the panel is usually brief. If you don't mind, I need to go to Ty. Ty, your thoughts Alejandro Garnacho, proving a lot of people wrong. And you heard the story of him staying behind it to train further, and then in the stage, I can't quite remember the story, but he's putting in individual training shifts alone, trying to improve, probably driven by what he's heard from the manager and what he needs to do to become better. But have to say, he's looking more of a selfless player than he was at United. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was wondering if it was me. Um, uh,
Was that him, Ty? Was that him
Go ahead,
breaking up?
Dante. Did you guys lose me or did I lose you?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's
I think there
going
was
on
no, I
some
here.
was
issue with
wondering,
the audio.
I was wondering if it was my end because I was hearing
No, it looked
glitching,
like it
like
was Coach.
audio.
Yeah, Coach, you kept breaking up every now and
Okay,
then.
yeah, because I just went on YouTube to check.
Oh,
But I mean, yeah,
shoot.
uh, it's sad because okay. I'm- anyways, yeah, I'm happy for Garnacho. I know Coach referenced it earlier in the stream about the perception that was put that he has a bad attitude and all of that. And I mean, maybe it is a case where he did have attitude issues
Guys,
at Man United.
okay.
And he's been talked to, and when he, because he's a young player, and I think a lot of people forget that he was very young at Man United. He came onto the scene very young for them as well. He's 21, so he still has a long way to go in terms of developing, in terms of psychologically and all of that. So I think a lot of the times people forget that, but it's good, and he's showing good character, good personality traits. If he's staying back for training, that's the type of attitude he wants. But of course, he does have people like your Enzo Fernandez who are there to guide him and mold him, because Enzo Fernandez would have come at Chelsea around that same age, so he would have been able to understand
Oh my.
all of that. But I'm happy for him, and he's slowly proving me wrong as well, because I had my doubts as to why we decided to sign him. I kept saying that he's an unnecessary signing. We could have used that on another area of the pitch, and he's slowly starting to be more impactful, and that's all that matters. I'm hoping that it continues, and that consistency is something that he shows, because he is capable of giving you good performance. He's not a bad player. That's what I think a lot of people forget. It's just about consistency, and as I've said, he's young, so the consistency will be an issue. But at the same time, I'm happy for him. And as you guys said, he could have had more assists, and he should have gotten a goal, and he didn't. But it's good, and I'm hoping that our attack continues to slowly gel together, and we start to see that competition even get more, because that's what we need. We need competition, healthy competition, and consistency. That's the only thing that we're lacking right now. Consistency. We have the capabilities, but being consistent is where the issue lies.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Uh, I think we're talking about the Garnacho performance, right?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, particularly impressive. I think he's got what now, 4 GA in 4 games. I think that's really good output. And as Ty mentioned, I wasn't, one of the most excited people when we were signing him. I had my opinions on him and the particular signing that we're going to have in that area. Even as a collaboration with Gittins as well, both of them costing more than 100 millions. And so yeah, I have my different opinions on that thing, but now he's here, and now he's here to stay. So yeah, he had his start a little struggleful, but that is, I think, okay for a new player at a new environment in a new club. But the output is really, really good. I was impressed by him, and he's another, type of player who you resemble with Pedro Neto, who will not only give you the attacking threat, but also puts in a good shift and does the defensive duties as well. And even after missing a few chances like that Enzo one, which was particularly easy. I think he should have taken it nicely, and that was literally a sitter. But I think he didn't let that affect his head and continued the great thing. Uh, I think he was criticized as United for being a little selfish and not thinking about the whole team. And the way he gave assist to both Gusto and Neto just shows that he has been working on that section as well. And some internal reports of him being staying after the training session, doing some extra work and all, and being really positive to improve himself. I think all those things really adds to the personality that he's currently developing at Chelsea. And yeah, I have no criticism of him right now. If you're giving Chelsea good GA as a winger, I think all is good, even for the fans as well. So yeah, more of that. Continue doing that, and he will have no doubts of people asking whether he should start in the Premier League or not. I think he's well and truly seated for a seat in the Premier League, and Gittins can improve on the Carabao Cup and FA Cup games. So yeah, that's on Garnacho. I want to just add on that overall atmosphere thing. I agree with you, Dante. I think there are these legacy fans and a little section at Stamford Bridge, and I do not support the booing thing at all. I think that's a thing which is not going to improve the team in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that's the thing about legacy fans. I don't know about it and how they really, how much contribution they do at the bridge. But I think there is one thing that I want to say that mm, I think I won't agree that we were, dominating or really good. I think we have to add the context that it was Wolves. They are sitting 20th in the table, on track to get relegated, and they came to Stamford Bridge with no manager. Maybe it was their academy or Team B coach or someone that came with the Wolves team. So context needs to be added, and we should not be struggling to create and score against a team like that. So the first half was not a great view, in my opinion. The second half, we improved ourselves, and it was a game of two halves. And again, the booing part is not what I justify, but the criticism of that first half, in particular with the context that I added, that it was Wolves. They are sitting in 20th in the table, and we as Chelsea, the attack that we have, we should not struggle to create and to score goals against them. I think we were having a good possession, but in the final third, it was Neto and Garnacho just putting balls in the box, which was aimless. It's like there is no plan, and the ball was really uh, going nowhere in the box. It was just passing around the goal. So I had my criticism for that half, but I was really impressed by the way that we turned the second half around.
Yeah. Look, like you said, Wolves. I mean, they when they came and started playing, they had all 11 guys back on the edge of the box, basically. So it was always going to be tough to break them down. It was just a matter of time, and we still actually created. That probably what impressed me the most. Well, one impressive thing is that they had 0.00 that absolutely did absolutely nothing. We pinned them back, and we dominated them in that sense. Yes, you can criticize build up, but it's very difficult to. There's not many teams that will break that down very easily. But even so, that's probably what impressed me so much because we actually Garnacho created those couple of chances. Enzo Fernández, we still created two really really good chances, and a lot of half chances, but two really good chances. So that wasn't easy. You're not going to do much against that. You saw obviously the second half was down to us cracking them open. Once they were open, they have to come out and play a little bit different, and then we obviously completely destroyed them as well. So yeah, there is a lot of context there, of course, 100%. I don't mind the criticism. Of course, you can criticize, but just the booing, that's just it goes a bit beyond football. And we know why the reason why that is, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and that's sad because, like I said, this team just traveled, came back. Yeah, it
What's the
wasn't the
reason
best.
though?
Sorry,
What's the reason though?
what do you mean? What's the reason? Didn't I explain that this whole time? ownership. Come on, Ty, as if you don't know the ownership. Maresca is a puppet of the ownership, from what these guys say. He's that's what he is, and a lot of the players are as well. They don't like only certain players. They don't like all the players. They hate Enzo Fernandez. That's because he's a ownership signing, a marquee signing. So these guys hate the ownership, and if you can go on X and go on their pages, they're all season ticket holders. They all sit in the same areas, and they all say the same things. Johnny Minerals and all these crew and all those other ones. There's a lot of them,
Yeah.
unfortunately, too many. This doesn't happen much. Look at Champions League games. It doesn't happen much at Champions League because they don't have the Champions League games. That's completely different. It's only these legacy fans that have had tickets for 30 years, whatever, long time, but they don't have it for Champions League. And Champions League nights, the crowd is completely different. It's much louder, much better, much more younger crowd as well. Because, like I said, they don't go to those games, most of them, because it's too expensive, and they just don't go because they don't have the tickets for it. So yeah, look, that's what it comes down to. I mean, I'm sure you know that. If you agree or not, let me know. But I've seen that for the last 3.5 years. That is, they will never change their mind ever. It doesn't matter if Maresca wins, does absolutely anything because of the ownership. Maresca's an ownership. He's one of those. Is a championship manager only one way basically, and they will never accept it, unfortunately, and it's sad. And that's the people booing.
Well, well, maybe the problem is that when I watch the matches, I don't have the audio on, so I'm not as aware of that part. But I mean, I don't know about generalizing it though. Yeah, I know that they are persons, and I know about like the example that you gave about Johnny, for example. But anyways, I don't want to really go into that proportion. But I don't know about generalizing it though. Yeah, you do have season ticket holders who are very adamant
You don't need
that
to
okay,
generalize
this
it.
is the
They say
case.
in themselves. You can go and have a look.
No,
They
but you
them.
say
There
when you
must be
say
some.
season
There
no,
must be a
no, but when you
section
say
of
season
such people.
ticket holders though, it kind of sets the precedence that it is everybody. If you say season ticket holders,
I
that's
said
what
a
I'm saying.
certain. I said a quarter of the stadium. I said a certain sections. I can't remember the exact names where they all sit together.
And
You
that most of them are season ticket holders.
They're all season ticket holders because they've had tickets for the last
Okay.
40, 50 years from their dads, blah, blah. Well, anyway, a lot of them are very old. So they're quite more mature men, old. So yeah,
All right. Well. Well. Fair enough. I'm not going to prolong that, but fair enough. I think you kind of gave yourself the response, the answer to why that is the case, though, because they're old school, and they just simply don't like the model.
correct. Yes, yes, exactly. That's what I said. They're legacy fans, and that's what they don't like. And they'll never support the team. But is that really a true supporter to boo your team, all the time and hurl abuse and all sorts of things? And I'm sure you see stuff on X, what they write. I'm sure you've seen it before. The stuff they say,
No,
the
I'm
protests
blocked
and
by
all that.
most of them, so that kind of lets you know what you need to do. I'm blocked.
Just quickly, when you guys are on the panel, can you use your X handle as your name, so that whenever we're not we don't have a comment highlighted on the screen, people can see your X handle and
Okay.
go follow you if they like your waffle on the panel here. Um,
I
Waffle,
want
wow.
more season
Okay.
ticket holders to follow me.
All right, but that's by the way. I don't know if Jay, if he's talked about what he's seen from Garnacho so far. Has he? When because I was busy trying to
Yeah,
figure out
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
he's
yeah,
going on with
coach.
my
You
game.
can rest assured that I did not criticize Garnacho. I
No,
I
I'm not
said a
saying.
lot
I'm
of
just asking
praises.
you. I'm just asking what you've seen so far, compared to, you could say, what a lot of the stuff we heard before we completed his signing. Some people were
Yeah,
sounding as if he's not, he's not a good footballer, nothing to offer. But if you knew him before he joined us, you'd know that, yeah, that's a good footballer in there. And if you followed what has been going on at Manchester United, you'd know that, yeah, it's not just about him. That then he's definitely not the problem. But go ahead, Jay.
yeah. I think I just expressed earlier that I'll be honest, I was not the biggest fan when the signing was made. I had my reservations on Garnacho, mostly because of his off-the-pitch stuff and the shenanigans that comes with him, that we all saw at United. Now you can say that that is part of, of being a player at United. Maybe the club does things, and there are examples of players like Anthony Rashford that, they are totally different when they leave the club. And Garnacho is also showing signs of that. So yeah, I had my reservation, but when he joined the club, I was totally in support of him. I think any player that comes to the club should be given a fair chance to prove himself, and Garnacho has done so as well. I think the limited chances that he got from the beginning, uh, he was really positive about it, and now what 4 GA in 4 matches is a really, really good output, and I just want him to continue like that. Premier League experience, and also the added thing that he performs defensively very well, just what Pedro Neto offers on the other side. I think that also puts him ahead of Gittins and a choice for Maresca
Maresca singled
in
that
the
out as
Premier
well.
League.
Exactly, Jay. He singled that out in the press conference, saying that he loves that side of his game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
What
that's
what
the
what
modern
exactly,
day
Dante?
philosophy as well. Modern day managers will need players to do the defensive duties as well. I rarely find managers or coaches that ask their players to go single-handedly in one department and lack in the other. So overall,
The
that's
truth
not a
remains,
bad
when,
thing.
when it comes to a player contributing defensively, managers hardly ever make exceptions. Except you'd have to be, you could say,
Eden
exceptionally
Hazard.
good that
You have
they'd
to be an Eden Hazard,
sacrifice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or a Messi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until you are Eden
Uh,
Hazard, right?
yeah, exactly. You have to be. You have to be at that level for them to make an exception for you. Jay, since we're still with you, okay, Tony, let's hear your thoughts. Sorry, you're not important, so I didn't even realize you're there. But let's hear you, Tony. Do we have him there? Okay, he's still
Oh
okay.
yeah, here I
There,
am. You finally get to see me.
there you go. There you go.
Oh
That's what I'm
yeah,
talking about. There. Let's hear you. Let's hear you. Let's hear you,
I'm all
Tony. Let's hear,
professional today.
let's hear you, man.
I
Talk
came
to
to
us.
fight. I hope you're
Who's
ready.
that? Who's that person?
That's Tony.
Who's
Tony
that
Two.
person?
I was expecting a
That's
suit and a
Tony.
tie like the picture, but hey, this one's
So,
better.
Tony, let's hear your thoughts. Ganacho, compared to what we heard, you could say people didn't expect him to offer much. Some were openly saying that he's not good enough. Some would just want to be part of the conversation. The mob mentality thing. That some probably, when you ask them, okay, you don't want us to sign Ganacho. What are your reasons for that? Some of them weren't able to say other than attitude issue, the so-called attitude issue, was issues we heard at the time, which you could argue that wasn't even him. It was his 16-year-old younger brother on social media posting things that were attributed to him when people shouldn't be doing that. But I think he's proven you could say he's letting his performances do the talking for him. And the manager also, he's spoken highly of him, how he's working hard, improving on and off the ball. And we've heard stories of him staying behind it to train further, even the next day, actually. That makes me happy. But let's hear you.
So because I came in late, I heard you guys talking about the booing. Is that connected with what you're
If you
saying
want to talk
about?
about that, up to you.
Oh no! So I was just trying to see if you guys were connecting that with the Garnacho thing. You're just asking me my opinion about what I think about Garnacho. Was that a
Yeah,
good decision to
how
get
how
him?
well he's done so far. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
you were one of those that didn't want the club to sign him because maybe you thought at the time that he's not good enough, or maybe he has attitude issues.
Yeah.
If you man, let's hear you. Then you
I
can
think
go back to talking about the booing.
no. It's no. I think I remember when we were first linked with him. I was just kind of like, why? And then, but I was never really angry about it. I just thought, well, because at the time, and I didn't think it was going to happen, right? But at the time, all the rumor mill was going wild, and they were getting excited like, oh, will we get Rodrigo as well? You know, maybe we'll get Morgan Rogers. You know, so I was kind of distracted by that, you know, carrot they were dangling in front of me. And so with Garnacho, I was like, why? I guess I'll be a good backup. But then I was worried about the attitude stuff. Yeah, that was my only concern. I was just like, I hope he doesn't disrupt the dressing room. But whether this ownership has brought in hits or misses, like one thing they haven't done is like, I think they've yet to bring in anyone that disrupts the rhythm. Like one thing that seems to be consistent is like, it seems to be a team. It seems to be a unit. They all seem to be on the same page. And, I would like to think that, and who didn't get along with Maresca apparently? Nicholas Jackson. Well, he's not there anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like my sample size up to that point was, it seems like everyone that they bring in, whether they're, a slam dunk or a miss, whatever it is, and there's been a lot of slam dunks, I think, but they haven't brought in anyone that's disrupted the dressing room or that has caused animosity or division. I continue to see this team unified on the same page and just more and more and more and more. And no matter how much like their own fan base tries to be negative or inject things on social media and these ridiculous influencers and, trying to chase clout or whatever, like they just seem to keep getting stronger and they just ignore all the noise. Anything the media says, they just get more unified. So because of that, I was like, okay, I'm concerned about this guy, but you know what? As far as unity, the ownership seems to be nailing it. So why, you know what I mean? Like, why not trust them until they give me a reason not to? So I sort of just reserved my judgment, and I was like, okay, maybe he'll come out of his shell. And now he hasn't caused any division that we are aware of. And certainly I haven't seen it on the pitch or in body language between him and other players or the manager. And I do include him shaking his head when he was brought off because we covered that the other night. Like, I want to see
like
a
somebody
player.
said on X, do we expect him to start doing a backflip because he was subbed off?
Yep.
Good players don't. I don't know any good player that when you sub him off, he'd look happy, and that you could say for me, that was never an issue for me. But you get because of the player he is, and it was just easy for people to spin that out of into or spin it into what he it wasn't. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. So I just said, all right, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't seem like a great idea to me, but I just thought it was crazy that everybody was just losing their mind. Why would we do this? I'm just like, what example do we have that these
Um,
guys have brought someone in that's completely just been a bastard, and just messed everything up. I don't, so I just said, I'll give you the benefit. And now he is doing, which you guys covered adequately, exactly the opposite of everything that supposedly he was doing at United. And I think we said this a couple nights ago, but what is like, you have, and I made this point the other night, you have Anthony, you have
the one at
Rashford,
Barcelona. Mhm.
you have Garnacho, player after player. What is the common denominator? It's United.
McTominay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
McTominay.
McTominay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the common denominator is United every time. So every time they're just like, oh, I can't wait till you get him. He's such a troublemaker. Good riddance. We're glad we got rid of him. And it's just like, I mean, everywhere these guys go, they're thriving. What is the common denominator? It's Man United. Okay. So at some point, we have to start saying, like, maybe it's you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
maybe it's you.
yeah.
You're always the common factor. So yeah, I love it, and what I'm seeing, and with the training and the attitude, and just already the camaraderie with the players, and yes, if you get hooked early, shake your head. Good, I want more of that fight, and like, yeah, I mean, so now that I'm starting to see him, like, no, I'm not getting too excited because he had 2 assists. No, And I know that whenever somebody has a really good game, it's really in vogue to just talk about them for a week, like, oh, and then once they do bad again, everybody's like, oh, well, I guess that was, I guess he was a one hit wonder, or I guess we were wrong. That was just one good game. No, I'm not getting overhyped about him having 2 assists. But what I am seeing is a consistent gradual climb, a gradual improvement. He is um, getting acclimated more. He seems to be jiving with his team. And I see a player that, okay, if you keep raising your levels and you keep doing better, what's the limit for you? Like, go on, son. You know what I mean? Go. You're a Chelsea player. I'm on your side until you give me a reason not to be. I
And
hope he does great.
Big United account are quick to find something uh, to talk about him, which some of our fans also sulk up to and amplify it. Which I've told them it just doesn't make sense that some of us are allowing Manchester United big accounts to dictate how we support a Chelsea player. I'm not going to be part of that. He's a good player. I knew that even before we signed him, and I'm going to support him. And Tony, you and I, so close to becoming good friends until you say you're not excited. So, but that's by the way. All
Until
right.
what?
Real Gems, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Always nice to see you. Yeah, maybe it's you. That's the name of a romantic comedy. Yeah, I agree. But that's a good reference. Dante, I'm gonna come to you now. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the day I said that I've looked back and also looked at his time at Manchester United, and the truth remains that had United been more clinical than they were when he was still with them, he'd leave them with you could say twice as much as number of assists that you could say that he ended his United career with. And the signs are good at Chelsea. And I know you remember me saying he's become more of a selfless player than he was at United. He's looking to create more than to be the main guy. I think you could argue he was. You could say he had to a certain extent the main guy issue at United. That is just my opinion. But I think this guy is going to finish the season with a lot of assists, given the way he's applied himself on the pitch since he joined us. But let's hear your thoughts, Dante.
Yeah, look, he didn't have a bad GA anyway last season, and he wasn't playing in his preferred position. The reason he was asked to be a bit more of that guy because he was playing as a 10 in behind. Amarin plays with 2 10s in behind the striker a little bit more. They still go out wide, but they're more tens, so they're asked to shoot more to do that. They're not as wide as in our system, so
They don't hog the
uh,
lines.
yeah, so that's why I think you saw a lot of it was quite a bit, but that's actually better for us because learning that position as well, that's can only benefit him going forward. So that's just a bit of versatility, which is good for us. I don't really care about Man United, but that's one of the reasons why he was missing quite a few chances as well because of that reason as well. But he still, I think, had 18 or 20 GA for the season, which is a team that he didn't really suit or play that much. It's still very, very good. So um, yeah, look, and even Maresca when he, I was just reading Maresca's what he said about him. So he said Alex Garnacho when he arrived here from Manchester United, where he was not training 100%, so his physical condition was not good. Slowly, we have worked on that, and now it's a lot better. And you're seeing,
Let's clarify. Let's clarify something there. When he said not training 100%, not down to an attitude issue, you could argue it was because he was ostracized.
yeah, you can look at it that way. Yep. So yeah, that's why he took a little bit
What's a
longer.
big word?
Yeah, big word for
Sorry.
coach.
Yeah, I do know a few big words, even though my English isn't
I
perfect.
mean,
But
listen, and my phone needs to charge. I can't even look up what it means. Jesus Christ, man.
okay, it's there. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, so he started a bit slow because of that. It looks like his fitness was not up to scratch, from what Maresca says as well, either. So, and that's his physical fitness. So that could have something to do with it as well. But anyway, look, yeah, like we said, he's done well. He's a direct winger. He suits Maresca's system very well. And the thing I was impressed with more a little bit in that first half more than anything, because when teams are open, he's going to do well most of the time because there's space one on ones. But how Wolves were sitting really low block, nasty, nasty low block, we will still be able to create two really good chances. And him opening up some play against two defenders, once against three defenders. For me, that's what I was looking at. He can. That was one little area I think he might struggle against low blocks because he's a direct winger. And normally the direct wingers don't really do that well against. That's when you need to be more technical, like Estevao, more technical
Correct me
winger.
if I'm wrong. I'm sorry for cutting you off. He hardly ever gets caught offside.
Yeah, he times his runs very well. Yes,
He's
yes.
very, very, yeah, he always pays attention to his surroundings. Hardly ever offside, really. But go ahead.
That and Enzo Fernandez timing of through balls as well helps a lot too. So it's a bit of both. But yeah, he does time his runs very well. But yeah, look, that's what yesterday that impressed me the most because he was able to open up, and while they were in a low block, he did that very well. So that was impressive to me because that's one I think where he needs to improve a lot, and that is, and not just him, other players. Even Neto struggles a lot of sometimes in against low blocks because he's more of a direct winger as well. He's not that type of Estevao, more dribbler, more technical type of winger. So yeah, that was very impressive. So it's a great sign, and the extra training, and Maresca is going to absolutely love that, him doing extra training, because that's the type of Maresca type of player he was and the type of manager he is. So he's really going to raise the bar with that, and he's absolutely going to love that. Yeah, it's basically, I was saying that the other day when I saw that Garnacho. Remember, I said that he did that, did the training, the extra training. That just showed me that he knew he had that starting spot, and he doesn't want to let it go now. He's that starting left
I was
wing.
going to ask you that question. You think at the moment, you could say, if the opposition, you could say the team we're going to play against doesn't wield, you could say, a considerable measure of influence with regards to our lineup, he probably starts over Gittins, right?
Yes, he's your starting left wing now. Correct, 100%.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ty. Let's hear your thoughts. Where do you want to come in? Or maybe you don't have to. You could.
I'm blank.
I mean, it happens. Jay, anything you want to say with regards to that, or
Okay,
should we
no, no,
move?
no, no. Why did he go there, coach? Why did he go there?
Ty, go ahead.
No, no. I'm saying when I said I'm blank, you said it happened. So I'm saying why did he go there?
It does. Even I don't remember the question I asked.
No, I
If
don't
that
think he
helps.
didn't catch
And
on.
I'm
He didn't,
serious.
he didn't catch on, man. He didn't catch on. He didn't catch on to what I meant all ago, but it's okay.
Okay, I didn't get the joke, but go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, mm, I'm very cautious with saying that Garnacho knows that the position, as in the left hand side, is his, because um it takes one bad game, and I think probably that's what Dante was alluding to. That, of course, he knows that consistency is very important, and a player of his caliber knows that he hasn't been given the chance to really be consistent at other clubs. So he knows that he's in a situation where he must deliver, or he can lose our place. So I'm not sure if I would say that he knows that he has that left hand side, but more so that he knows that he can keep it if he keeps being consistent. Because Gittins isn't doing the greatest in terms of what Garnacho has been doing for the last two games, but Gittins is showing you the glimpses.
Here's what I'm going to say. Irrespective of, you could say, how well he's done,
He
Gittins
might
has
think
done
just mix
okay
out all
too.
of them.
And I think who again, the starting player depends on the opposition to a considerable extent before the manager considers, okay, who's done better than the other so far. Gittins, you could argue on his day, he's excellent at beating his man, much better than Ganache will. But here's the thing. The clear difference at the moment is that Gittins is more of a goal scorer than he is a creator. And I think the manager, if the opposition is a sort of opposition that Ganache will have the space to assert himself as a more direct player, he'd start him over Gittins. Because both have done well, but Garnacho, you could argue, he's done much better and he's come across as the more confident of the two players. Gittins, to a certain extent, still shows some measure of lack of confidence. For me, I wouldn't go to the extent of saying that one starts over the other definitely, because Maresca has shown that the starting player on any given day depends on the opposition, and yeah, I get it. I mean, it's easy to just say one starts over the other, but Maresca doesn't operate that way. Again, that's my opinion. But go ahead, Dante, if you Ty, if you were still speaking. Apologies.
No, I had my microphone switched, so I got disconnected briefly.
Okay,
But since and you've kind of added to what I was gonna conclude with, which is no surprise. Um,
tapping is my thing.
yeah, I think we need to sign you in the future. I have a football club, so I'm still looking for strikers. Anyways, but yeah, in terms of that, and I do think and I don't want to keep mentioning psychology, but as you just said, Gittings operates in a way where he seems as if he second guesses himself, and I think part of that has to do with what he said initially when he signed, and also what he's realized, which is that what he expected from the Premier League, because he's English, is not exactly what he's getting. Because of course, we tend to see this with players who come from Dortmund or from Germany, I should say. They're not just limited to one club. They take a bit of a time to adjust to the league. You don't have much space. You don't get the chance to, because defenders or fullbacks will be pressing you or pushing you to make a decision quickly. So I think he's recognized the fact that although he was initially in the English league, or was a part of the English setup, it's not as
Quickly, I just
such.
wanted to ask: was he at any time at Chelsea?
Uh, well, I can't recall.
I'll check. I think I had I heard the commentator say something to that effect. Maybe I was
It's possible.
I
It's
didn't
possible he
listen well.
was there
But go
briefly,
ahead.
because
Yeah.
a lot of the players that went to other clubs like City, you'd be surprised. They either had a trial or they were there for a week or something. Because Chelsea's academies is
Okay. One
always.
second, Ty. I have an answer to that. Yes, Jamie Gittins was at the Chelsea Academy as a child, spending a brief period um, there before moving to Reading FC's academy,
Mm,
and eventually Manchester City's academy. He later rejoined Chelsea in July 2025 as a professional player. Yeah, so he was.
all right. Oh yeah, and it's on the website as well. But yeah, in terms of that, and it just adds to what I'm saying, because because and this is the perception a lot of people had on him, that he's English, so because he's English it'll be easy for him. But we've seen that happen with players like Sancho, for example, that although they were initially in England, when you go over there, and that's the case with whatever aspect, if you go somewhere to work or whatever the case may be, it takes you having to readjust or adapt to the environment again. So I think he's second guessing himself. So he's young, and I know some people don't like to hear the fact of young, but he is young, which means that in terms of his way of thinking, it's gonna be difficult for him to really get back into that place. So it's about him getting the chance to develop, which is one thing that Maresca has been very cautious with. He doesn't put the players on center stage and let pressure be applied to them. He tends to find ways to integrate them slowly, or to manage their minutes if he believes that they're not ready or they shouldn't be in the limelight in that present moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Ty. Jay, you want to comment?
Um, uh, in regards to the question about whether he's a clear-cut starter, I think right now, with the experience that Garnacho has, I know he's relatively very young, but the experience that he holds for the Premier League, I think that also gives him advantage to start over Gittins, and we all can agree that the potential that Gittins have and the ceiling that he got, I think ultimately he will have a longer duration potentially at Chelsea, and he may uh, overcome the hurdles that he's kind of having right now. But right now, I don't think that Garnacho is really going to give it easily to Gittins, and I think the cup games is where Gittins need to prove himself, like he did against Wolves in the Carabao Cup. Uh, but yeah, Garnacho is doing everything perfect, and there's no reason for him to be, benched. Uh, so yeah,
How
that's the
about the
thing. I really
opposition?
want.
How about how we've seen clearly that again, the opposition is to, you could say, to a considerable measure wields great influence with regards to who starts in a particular game.
Yeah, that's also, and the point about being defensively active. I think out of all our wingers, I think Gittins lacks the most defensive attributes. And as we all know,
Does
that
he really?
Maresca will. I particularly think that he doesn't really get involved in the
Okay,
defensive
you say
side
he
of the game.
doesn't get involved defensively.
Yeah, when you compare it with the
Not as
likes of
much.
Garnacho or Neto.
I think I agree.
But
I
coach,
think I
just let
agree.
me ask you this question. So Garnacho started against Tottenham, and then he started against Wolves as well. Wouldn't you say that's two different teams, two different systems, two different ways of playing?
Are you actually trying to agree with me, Dante?
I'm just letting you know because you said it depends, but the last two games he started because on form and merit in those bigger games, but they were completely different. One's a complete low block, and Tottenham's playing. Yeah, they play a sort of a mid block now, not a high block
Maybe
anymore.
the perception, maybe his thinking was that Wolves, they really do need a win and probably wouldn't risk sitting that deep because, yeah, the deeper they sit, the more we'd have the ball and chances are, and if we score first, they're in trouble. Maybe that was his reasoning behind starting
Uh,
Garnacho.
I actually
I,
think that the
yeah,
formation and the style in which the opponent has shaped themselves is secondary, and the form and the experience that Garnacho holds is always will always be given priority. I don't think Maresca particularly looks at the style of the team and the way that they are sitting. I think Gittins is quite raw in some aspect of his game, and the experience that Garnacho has got, I think, uh, uh, despite the formation of the teams or the style that they are going to play or the way they are going to sit, I think that is not going to matter for a while, uh, especially when you compare the experience of Gittins and Garnacho.
What about if they're both uh, performing at the highest level? That is difficult to differentiate who is in better form than the other because they're not the same profile.
yeah,
They
and that's
have
what we
their
want. That's
differences.
exactly what we want.
Yeah,
But at
But
the
okay, you're
moment,
saying we're not there now.
not there. He's
yeah,
not there now. No, Gittins, no.
You guys are definitely ganging up against me. But go ahead, Jay.
yeah. I mean, till that point, I think Garnacho is the clear-cut starter. I really want to discuss the performance of Enzo with you guys. I was
Yeah,
particularly
we'll
really
get
impressed.
Enzo will
For
be the
me,
next one,
yeah.
and you can start. Tony, let's hear you quickly. Let's get
Hey,
let's get
get
back
Tony involved.
to
It's getting cold, coach. Come on.
Tony, let's hear you. Anything else you want to say about Ganacho? But before you do, Kishan is in the chat. Kishan, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. But please don't go about blocking people and then they'll come here and blame me for blocking them. Okay? That way you and I will still be friends. But if you do, I'll block you here. Uh, let's hear you, Tony.
No, I don't really have anything else to say about him. I just think he's probably. I mean, he's. Let's say I agree he's ahead of Gittins in the pecking order. However, I will say not always because I like that they are two different profiles, and so I think whoever we need to break the team down that we're playing or to best exploit them will start, right? Which more often than not will probably be Garnacho, but if a team is giving some space and their right back is doing a lot of 1v1 defending, like that's kind of set up for Gittins, right? But probably more often than not. Obviously, I think Garnacho's output is more, but I just like having the two different profiles because Maresca has the ability to change his tactical approach. So maybe Garnacho, even if he's available, doesn't always start over Gittins if the situation requires more of Gittins' skill set. But otherwise, yeah, loving what I'm seeing from Garnacho, and I think that I mean, if we want to say there's a pecking order, like I guess he's ahead in that, but it's nice to have different profiles.
Mhm. Yeah. Jay, I'm going to come back to you, but before you start speaking, let's look at his numbers. Enzo Fernandez's performance yesterday is one of you could say, the sort of performance that, if you look at numbers alone, because he has no assists, no goals, and chances created 2, expected goals xg 0.23, expected goals on target 0.48, expected assists 0.52, and then let's look other aspects here. We don't fantasy points, we don't need that. Defensive contributions 8, he did well defensively. And then we have attack, blocked shots 1, shots on target 2 out of 5, 40%. Touches, 77 in total. Touches in opposition box, 6 in total. Accurate crosses, 0 out of 6. That corner's part of it, definitely. So that one, no, I don't consider that. Accurate long balls, 4 out of 4. Give him that because, yeah, that's probably from a deeper position and finding his teammates somewhere. Corners, 4 in total. Yeah, we knew before time that corners was probably the reason why his accurate crosses percentage is low. He was dispossessed 1 time. What else do we have here? So, but if you pay attention to, for instance, Grand Dues won 0 out of 2. So if you pay attention to numbers alone, it'd be easy to just say he was SHIT. But that highlights the importance of eye test. They both complement each other. Numbers and eye test. And thank goodness, yeah, if a lot of people watched the game and just pay attention to solely the numbers and they go, yeah, he was poor. But let's hear you.
Who, coach? Who you asking?
Go ahead, Jay.
Jay, yeah, Jay. Go, Jay.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was asking you, Dante.
No.
Um,
Dante agreed that, yeah, you really want to talk about
Blue
Enzo, but go
Jays.
ahead.
Um, yeah, I'm quite shocked looking at the numbers, especially. I never knew that performance really, parallel to those numbers. It's shocking. I can't believe that these are the numbers to what I watched with my eyes. Anyways, look, this was one vintage Enzo performance. The earlier time when we signed Enzo, especially after that January transfer window, the earlier part that we saw from him, the key details that he was really, excelling at. I think it was a glimpse, and after quite a while, a long period of time that I have seen Enzo doing that, I think he was deployed a little deeper than what we see from him, and that really translated to the performance as well. The diagonal balls, marking the players, getting the players in the final third, and breaking lines. All those things I really, really enjoy about Enzo. Not really saying that the other part that we have been uh, aware of, that Maresca has made him into a box crasher and getting the goals more. I'm not necessarily saying that is not something that I don't like, but I enjoy Enzo doing such things that we saw against Wolves. He really dominated the match, and I think everything flew through him. He was really the focal point from where our attack was starting. Look, it's a conundrum. I don't really want to demarcate the two sides of Enzo Fernandez, where we have to choose one or the other. I really want him to get the goals, but I miss this side of him as well, where he is getting those diagonal passes and getting the players forward as well. I don't know. It's a conundrum for me. But
I think one thing that was clear is that I've talked about this a lot, and I've been meaning to make a video about that. His strength lies in his vision. You get that? 1 second, please.
You want to add something, Dante?
Sorry. The gang, they're back home. So yeah, and their
FC's
mom
back.
is
Yeah.
busy with something. So my point is that yesterday highlights why his vision is his strongest tool, and which was why I've said before that the deeper he is, the more you say, the more effective it be in a game. I'm not saying it, like if we keep using him like Maresca likes to use him crashing the box and all that, playing like one of the 10 in the two pockets. He's not gonna be good. He'll still be good, but some managers will prefer using him more like a regista, and he'd be excellent at executing that role. But he can do both. Actually, he covers the most ground, so he can still play. You can still, you can, even from a deeper position, you still see him in the crashing the box on the flanks doing his thing. But my point overall is his biggest, you can say, most effective tool is his vision. Make that move and it see you. And I'm shocked that a lot of people don't know that, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think vision is the key element where you are going to target the forward players and ultimately getting them through the long balls and diagonal passes. I think it depends on the team as well. What we saw against Wolves is something we will not be able to see against the top sides because we have seen this uh, the defensive vulnerability of playing Enzo deeper as well against Dortmund. If you remember that Champions League match against under Potter, where we conceded that goal to Adeyemi, I think. So there are some vulnerabilities that you will get always when you play or deploy Enzo in the deeper roles because he's not that physical and fast to cover the ground when there is a counter attack. So I think it relatively depends on the side that we are playing. If it's a side like Wolves who are really struggling, where there is no attack at all, then I think this type of Enzo can be affordable and we can see more of it. But I'm not really sure that this is something that can be trusted against the sides that are going to dominate the possession or who are going to attack us on the counters.
That's interesting. Who wants to take it from what Jay stopped? Ty, you want to go?
I mean, it's interesting that Jay says that because uh, I don't think that will deter Maresca from utilizing in that way because I think he trusts um, Caicedo's capabilities of coming back if it's a case where they interchange as to who will be more advanced or who pushes up to try to help as well. Because as much as we talk about Enzo, Caicedo is able to do that. So I think, as you said, as a player that has the vision and has the capabilities, which I think some people forget that that's what Enzo was. That's one of the reasons why Enzo was compared to Fabregas in terms of vision. And the same thing could be said for Fabregas. Fabregas wasn't the most physical
But his
midfielder,
vision.
but he had the vision. So, but then it's the same thing of you see, you love to do the tapping, coach. It's
It's my thing. When you're a tapping
uh,
player, you're a tapping player. And if you
yeah,
create the chances, I'll be there to make sure it goes inside the net. But just go ahead,
yeah,
Ty.
yeah. But my XG is not looking good, man. because,
Just go
but
ahead.
anyways, but yeah, that's the thing. I'm hoping that, as Jay said, we don't experience that where, although it's against the Wolves or whatever the case may be, we're struggling. It doesn't collapse. And he made a good point about when he faced a Dortmund team who were very physical, it didn't work out. But that's where I think Maresca is able to find that perfect balance. And I think in those games where he trusts that it will be a case where the opponents will be physical, that's when he decides to utilize James, for example, to try to help with that aspect. So hopefully we don't face off against a team where Maresca isn't anticipating that. But in terms of Enzo Fernandez's capabilities, yes, he has a good vision. And of course, the physicality has always been something that always overshadows that passing ability and his capabilities of being able to find passing ranges.
Hmm. Uh, uh, Tony, you want to go before Dante, or Dante, you want to go? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Dante can go.
All right, Dante, there you go.
Yeah, look, yeah, look, he can play both roles definitely. What probably we saw most against the Wolves it was probably his one touch passing. That's why it looked very, very good. Most of his passes are one touch. He scans the field. He scans the field before the pass arrives, and those one touch passes are, uh, as coach would say, delicious. They're very delicious most of the time. So he probably did around 5 or 6 of those in that game. So yeah, and we were on goal probably. I think 3 of those. Well, it led to the Neto goal, and then led to that Garnacho chance they probably could have scored. And there was one more I forgot. So yeah, look, the one touch passing, the scanning of the field, and let's not forget probably what mostly is important is pretty much that organizer, that um, Enzo extension of Enzo Maresca on the field as well, which is very important. So yeah, that's his basically, his
You
other.
have to give him credit, don't you?
Well, he is, and he's been like that from the start since he came in. Well, I knew that's going to happen because I mean that's the type of player he loves. Enzo Maresca loves, so he was always going to be that guy. And yeah, as he matured, as he's quite strong physically. Enzo Fernandez. It's just the way people say he's not very physical. He's a very physical player. He'll put his leg in. He won't take his leg out. He just that South American where he can go down a bit easily, or
Rather
they
draw
all
a foul than you say
draw a
that
foul. They
rather
all
just
have that in
yeah.
them, and yeah, unfortunately, that's inbuilt in them, unfortunately. But physicality, he's very physical. He's very strong. That's not a problem. It's just that South American DNA where they go down a bit easily, or a bit of contact, and they exaggerate it. So, but other than that, defensively he's been doing well. But yeah, he was a little bit deeper, but that's also like Ty said, the way Wolves played as well. But he did open, like I said, especially in that first half when he opened them up with those 2 one-time passes. That was really nice to see. So
And let me ask this: that was against those two delicious chances. Thank you for reminding me. The one for Garnacho, right?
mhm,
One was who is that? I
I
can't
keep
remember who.
yeah, I keep forgetting.
The question I want to
Gun-
ask you, I think we have to equally give credit to the players that made the runs.
well, that's right. They made, like you said, Garnacho made that run. They made those runs, and this was, they were quite in a low block as well, Wolf. So the runs were very important, but it all comes down to Enzo's Fernandez. Everything went through him. Like Jay said, the balls, everything went through the midfield, went through him. All the balls went, and he's already scanned the field before the balls arrived at his feet, and he's already passed the ball without almost even looking. That's what enables to open up that space, because otherwise you won't open up that space. There were just too many Wolves players. It's very hard to open that space if you don't do it straight away and catch him by surprise. And that's what he did very, very well yesterday. And he does that every game, 2 or 3 times. But yesterday, he
A
did it like
lot.
5 or 6 times. He was really on it yesterday. His dribbling as well, his hold up play. He had an all round, very, very good all round game. Unfortunately, the assist was there, but I don't care about that too much because
No, that's yeah. That's why I said that you can say that highlights the importance of eye tests. You don't just go by
exactly.
either
Yeah.
eye test alone and numbers alone. You need both. They complement each other. Defensively, you can see the numbers are high. To not
Yes.
like duels. There are other aspects of the defensive metrics that he did well, but unfortunately, some people just stick with one. Some are statistical nerds, maybe that's the correct pronunciation. Nerds, and Nerd. Some eye test is their thing. They don't even want to hear what the numbers say. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Well, like the great philosopher, what's his name? That guy that keeps saying fans only know a draw, a win, or a loss. What's his name? Sorry, coach.
You want me to say? You want my head to explode? Keep praising me here. I
Yeah. So yes, people only know that. So unfortunately, but yeah, all round game today. Yeah, he had a very good all round game. Without those, but like I said, me, I don't really look at that much. To me, the other stuff is more important. So he had a very, very, very good around all game and deserved man of match, definitely. Yeah.
Is it true that he's withdrawn from international assignment?
He did, yeah. His knees flaring up a little bit.
Good for us. To you can say, yeah. Because I think I believe he'd be all right before our next game. I
Yeah,
don't know.
we just
Were you
need
still
Caicedo
speaking
to do
before we
that
go to
too.
Tony? I'll catch up what we have in the chat, then we go to Tony.
Yeah, go ahead. That's it. All good,
All
coach.
right. Lusula is here. Nice to see you, Lusula. I do hope you're doing well. Or is it Lusula or Lusala? I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Is it Lusula or Lusala? If the latter is the correct, please let me know. Anything else would spoil our weekend. Very happy for the 3 points. Yeah, we're all happy and solid performance overall. The only you could say person maybe that's because it's not fully fit yet. The lap. Do you see the secret in how to jump up on the table with all winnable games and not paying too much attention to big games? This is what Arsenal do. I need to see. I saw a lot of things yesterday that from the Arsenal game, but let me see more before I say whether they win the league or not. I need to, but it didn't. Okay, let me just keep it there. Tony, to you, Enzo Fernandez, a brilliant game. Numbers tell a different story. For those that are, you could say, as statistical nerds that say, yeah, he was poor. But eye test showed how good he was, and had we been more clinical, he'd finish the game with at least 3 assists. Well, let's hear you, Tony.
Yeah, man, I came prepared. I've got the
You
Opta
took
stats.
notes.
I've got the Opta stats. I've got the radar graph. I'm ready to go, dude. No, I 2 big chances created, yeah, and I'm looking at his heat map. I don't know. I'm not really, like piggybacking off of anyone else. Just some couple of random thoughts about Enzo is that I've heard a few people say like they like him operating deeper. I don't know. It's like every time I see him playing up more, I feel like he can come deep a little bit, but when he kind of plays higher up, that's when I see better things from him. His heat map is showing me like where I would expect him to be, that inside left pocket. And I noticed that when we don't have,
What app are you using? Are you using? Let me see if I can bring that up in the
I'm
screen.
just using Opta Stats and I'm using FP Ref.
Oh, FDRF. Okay, go ahead.
But on Opta, I'm looking at his heat map, and it's really concentrated in that inside left pocket. And one of the things that I noticed is when we have, now we've talked about this before, Enzo, he's in one thing he's a little Lampard-esque in is that he makes those really great late runs into the box a lot of times, and he's had a lot of joy from that. But that usually happens when he's kind of occupying that 10 space more. So we get those late runs in out of him, and he can provide a good assist or a goal in there, or at least create some chances. But I don't see as much from his all-around game as I do when you have a match like we had against Wolves, where we had João Pedro in the 10. If we have somebody occupying that 10, whether it's Cole Palmer or João Pedro, that seems to be when I see the best of Enzo, because he's not having to do that extra work, and it kind of frees him up where he loves to operate in that inside left pocket. And like Dante said, like he's scanning the field, like he knows what's going on. That's obviously pitch awareness, football intelligence, but he knows what's going on, and he's able to sort of anticipate what he wants to do before he makes a pass because he's constantly watching. But I think it frees him up. So we're not getting those late into the box runs when someone else is operating in the 10, but it does free him up to play more of his game. And I think this is when he's in his best element. He's a little advanced. He's in that inside left pocket. He's scanning the field, and he's creating big chances. And I was just looking at some of his stats on FB Ref, and like, first of all, overall, he's actually all around our most productive attacking player, believe it or not, according to OptaStats. And then on
That is for the
FPRef,
overall games this season, not just
right.
that. Yeah, okay.
And according to FPRef, he's in The
Is that Premier
99.
League only or Tony?
Yeah, that's Premier League only. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, I can switch, but I was just looking at Premier League for the sake of the Wolves match that we're kind of dissecting. But and for non-penalty expected goals plus assisted goals, like both combined, he's in the 99th percentile. So he's certainly creating chances. You know what I mean? So and getting himself into dangerous positions. But for this last game, yeah, I loved what I saw. A lot of people, I think was it? Oh, what's the site? SofaScore, I think, gave the man of the match to Garnacho, but a lot of people gave it to Enzo. So it was kind of a toss-up between those two. Like Garnacho had 2 assists, but I mean, Enzo was just constantly threatening, scanning the field, one-touch passes, like really good vision. And Yan made a point, and he's like, look, I am not by any means saying that Enzo Fernandez is on Fabregas's level, because Fabregas is like at a level where, he would see the pass that no one else would see, like nobody. But like Enzo is Fabregas-esque in that, just the direction, the curl, the distance he can put on his passes. He completed 100% of his long ball passes. And he had another 100% pass completion stat. I can't remember. I've been trying to find it. But he was just on it. And I just think when we have someone dependable and just a menace like a João Pedro, or whether you put Cole Palmer, or whether you put Estevao there, and Enzo's on the pitch too, like that frees him up really to just kind of scan and just really play his game and just not only get into threatening positions, but more so get the ball into very threatening positions. Yeah. So anyway, just some of my random thoughts on Enzo and some of the stats I was looking up. I think he had an outstanding game on Saturday. It's like every time, I blinked, I just felt like he was either on the ball or like running into space or making something happen. So I just love it when he's free to kind of just do his thing and scan. Because his football IQ is pretty high, and it's nice when we can free him up to focus on that.
There's something I've said before. I think it was I think it was I and Ryan, aka Carlito, a friend of mine. I have to say, having a conversation. I told him Enzo has the potential to do better than Fabregas at Chelsea because he's quicker. He can be more physical. Both have, in terms of vision, they both have excellent visions, respectively. Uh, I, I'm not trying to compare them. I'm just going to stick with him having the potential to do better than Fabregas at Chelsea because yeah, he has a lot more to his game than Fabregas in my opinion. But that's by the way, again, as Ty mentioned, Fabregas wasn't the quickest, but his footballing intelligence carried him throughout his career. Even if he's walking around at the pitch, managers were still comfortable having him on the pitch.
I think,
Mhm.
yeah, I think I agree with you with all of like Enzo has more to his game. It's just that the thing that made Fabregas world class is just like he was a specialist among specialists in that not just picking out the best pass, but once again, like
The
this
most
is where he
difficult
excelled
ones, yeah.
for everyone. Picking out the pass that no one saw or no one would have ever thought of. I mean, and I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but just recently that like disgusting lob pass he had over the defensive line to Andre Schürrle running into the far post on the backside was just
That's the
recently
one I
voted
usually remember.
the greatest assist in Premier League history is what that was voted.
That's the one that always comes to
Oh
mind
yeah.
whenever I
I
see.
watched that live. I was just I almost threw up. It was so
I
disgusting.
didn't.
Oh my
I did not expect that, but he was excellent. And Shola himself is a cold, you could say, was an ice cold finisher.
Right, but
Um,
it's just that's just the best example, but a prime example of just like nobody else saw that pass. Nobody would have thought about that. That's why the defense was like, "What is he doing?" Oh, there's Sherla. It's too late. So just amazing. But anyway, yeah, that's by the by. But yeah, apart from like that, just that little niche that I felt like he was just a cut above everyone else, just seeing the unseen. It was
mhm.
almost supernatural, But I mean, that's why he was world class, right? But Enzo, yes, Enzo has more of a diversified portfolio, right?
He
Yeah,
played in some good teams as well, Fabregas. So players around him is important as well. The players he had around him at Arsenal, at Chelsea, at Barca.
he had it. Yeah, he played
That
with
makes a big
excellence
difference. They
everywhere.
were
Yeah.
all teams that were ready to win. They were up in their prime, all of them, ready to win, most of them. So, yeah, it's
I mean, no comparison yet, but yeah, it's important to highlight those factors. Yeah. Faith Lawrence says, yeah, Faith, a man, I don't know, but it's unisex anyway. Praise for consistency. We all do, but that's something that's very common with when you have that's you could say it will happen when you have young players. Yeah, and I think Pedro should play as main a striker. The manager knows how he wants him to operate. When is Palmer coming back? Will he be available against Barcelona? Maybe. And Arsenal? Maybe. We don't know. Let's see. Please, people, go check out Ty's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and yeah, let him know I sent you. So whenever I meet him in Jamaica, I'll have a lot. Yeah, he will. All right. But
Well,
it's been.
you know that won't be anytime soon though, because of what's
How do you
going on.
know?
But the
Yeah,
countries
okay, we'll
in.
talk about that later. I almost went to Jamaica. I think it was 2018 with my friend Rohan. So yeah,
Ty, is that where
Rohan
you
Blake.
live?
Rohan Blake. Is it?
Ty, do you live
Ebanks,
in
Rohan
Jamaica?
Ebanks.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Tony. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
didn't even put that. I'm so sorry. Like, is it safe where you are, or is it pretty
Yeah.
wild where you are?
Nothing happened. Anyways, I don't want to take over the show with
Oh no,
some
that's fine.
business.
I didn't know. So my condolences.
For those that lost their lives, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
I
that's
blame
that's worth
myself.
taking up time for, Ty. Okay, my condolences, though, man.
Yeah. A big up knee and panel. Knee and panel? That's fine. Knee is my brother, so that's fine.
You guys look alike.
But
You
she
guys look
corrected it.
alike.
Oh, she corrected it and deleted it actually on the other window. But because everything shows up here, irrespective of whether you could say the person deletes it or not. But apologies, big up to you to Miss Melina. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Yeah, probably a tough game for you to watch yesterday. The fact that Sunderland scored force, you got an equalizing goal and scored one more. Thought, yeah, that's it. You've won that game. And my goodness, I did not believe how. Who was that scored that second goal for Sunderland?
Oh, I
Um,
wish I could remember his name, but it was sick. It was
he,
almost like a
I can't.
sideways
Yeah,
bicycle
he
kick.
practically bullied the Arsenal defense because that's unusual, really, because they have a very physical defensive line. How I think it was Gabriel that was on him, but couldn't do anything. How strong is that guy really?
I
But
got out of my
Miss Mel
seat.
Melina, nice to see you. Who?
No, I
Why
just
didn't
said I got
Rodri?
out of my seat when he scored that. It was amazing.
Oh, okay. Nice to see you,
Where's
Miss Melina.
Bobby?
I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. And people, go and subscribe to Miss Melina's YouTube channel. She covers all EPL clubs and beyond, and the link is there. And she's very knowledgeable of the game, not just about Arsenal. Yep. But go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. And Faith is saying that Estevao should be a starter. But right now, he just cannot for obvious reasons, or maybe for, in my opinion, reasons such as the manager protecting him, not to allow, you can say, not to allow the club dump such, you can say, pressure on a young, on a kid as young as he is. It could end up becoming an issue. Yeah,
If any,
and plus,
no,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, if anyone's familiar with Nini FC, that YouTuber, he has a pretty good breakdown on his most recent video
Okay.
of Estevao being reserved and protected, and he actually thinks when we get to the second half of the season, he'll be starting most matches. So, but he has a pretty good perspective on
Eventually,
how Estevao's being protected right now.
eventually, given how good he is, he will at some point become a starter. Then sits it out when the manager feels like he needs a rest. But right now, two things are protecting him, given how young he is. You don't want to put that much of a pressure on him that could end up stifling his development.
Breaking up, coach.
Irrespective. Sorry,
You're breaking up. I think, is that me or you guys hear the same?
I can hear everything. You're
No, I hear him fine.
Okay.
So, you're at Walmart.
No, McDonald's, coach. Come
McDonald's,
on.
okay, no
Seriously.
worries.
You always get it so wrong. Why do you get it wrong always?
Wow, that backfired.
Hold on, are we ranking Walmart Wi-Fi versus McDonald's Wi-Fi? Because I don't know how you make like how
Dante
you
thinks
decide
Dante
one-
believes Walmart. What? Which one?
McDonald's Wi-Fi is better.
He believes McDonald's is worse.
Worse.
And actually,
Oh.
I've used Walmart, and it served me well. I'm serious. I'm
Do you
not
have
joking.
LG? Do you have LG? Do
Well,
you have LG?
we don't have Walmart in Australia, so yeah. I wouldn't.
McDonald's.
Uh-oh.
No wonder. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Condolence. What?
Hold on, you have McDonald's but not Walmart?
McDonald's is on every corner, yes, but no, there's no Walmart in Australia. No.
McDonald's is
You can't compare them,
universal.
man.
Yeah,
Isn't
in
it?
Australia, every probably end of every street there's a McDonald's. Yes, it's a
Yeah,
very.
it's
You're
universal.
missing out on that fiber speed at Walmart, dude. Like, no. I'm kidding.
Well, that's why Coach probably keeps saying it, but yeah, I can only do McDonald's. That's all. I told him. Keep telling him.
I do Walmart, and then in Walmart you find Subway sometimes. So yeah, Estevao should be a starter, and we've talked about that. I think the manager has managed. You could say, yeah, it'd be correct to say Estevao starts a life as a Chelsea player. Enzo Maresca has managed that very well. And one thing that makes me happy is the kid himself is very humble. I don't think he'd complain. He's played, you could say, good a number of games, important games also, and at a time when the absence of Cole Palmer could have led to the manager overplaying him, but the manager still didn't do that, and I'm
Yeah, we
happy.
talked about that yesterday, the other day,
Yes.
Coach, about Estevao starting in that. I just saw an interesting stat. Who do you guys think has the number one goal contributions at Chelsea this season? in the
William.
Premier League?
I mean, the situation, the discussion itself gives it away, in my opinion. But go ahead. I'd say
Who?
Estevao William.
No, not even close. No, he's very far down the
Enzo
pecking order.
Fernandez.
Is it Enzo?
Enzo second.
Who's going to be first?
The guy that
Wait.
Estevao won't start over as yet.
Goal contribute. What did you say?
Neto?
Neto has 12 goal contributions in the 11 games in the Premier League this season.
So that's him.
Pedro Neto's by far, yes. 12
So
goals.
that
That's a
was
lot.
you knew that you knew that when you asked us the question whether
I
we
did,
choose and who would choose Estevao Willian or Pedro Neto. You knew that before you asked that question, knowing fully well that some of us probably wouldn't know that. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me the truth. Tell me you didn't know.
Well, no,
before
I
you
didn't
asked
know that
question.
because he
You
added
knew.
2 more yesterday, but no, I didn't know that back then.
You didn't know before. You didn't know before you asked us whether we'd prefer Estevao over Neto or vice versa.
No, I
didn't know.
did not know that. I only saw that today. So no, I did. I kind of thought about it. I thought he might be high because he has been probably our best sort of winger.
Before you
But
asked us the question.
yeah, and that's why I said I still go with Neto. I'm the only one that said I still stay with Neto at the
And you're
moment.
saying you didn't know about him being
I did
having
not
the
know it
most
was
goal.
that high. I knew it was tied with Enzo probably
You're
around
getting
there,
close
but
to saying the truth.
no,
You
I did not know. I did
you
not know.
you
I
All right,
did not
okay,
know
no,
the
no,
number,
no.
coach.
As a training psychologist, I'm not going to let you bully Dante into admitting some
Yeah.
leading.
So
I mean,
yeah,
it's about time we started fighting. This is getting ridiculous.
exactly. It was
yeah,
too
yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours, man. It's
Yeah, so Pedro Neto 12 goal contributions and Enzo Fernandez 8 in second. Estevao's only got 1, I think, or 2.
It should be around 3.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 only, if I'm right, corrected, because he hasn't played as much in the Premier League as much as the cups as well. That's also why. But
I
in
think
the
I can
Premier
find
League,
it here quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
and that's why you're going to see Neto still start over him in most of the important games because Neto is doing extremely well as well. So I think until Tony, you said second half. Who said that knee guy? You said in the second half of the season, maybe, but yeah, it might happen. But if Neto continues this way, the way he's going, it'll be very hard for him
No,
to
it's
do.
hard to deny that. And Maresca himself said in a press conference that he kind of just alluded. He didn't come out and direct, but he kind of alluded to the fact that, like,
That's
hey,
number is sorry, Tony. That number is for the even Champions League, right?
No, EPL coach.
Then this is not correct. But just go ahead, Tony.
no, I was just saying Maresca himself didn't come out and directly say it, but he alluded to the fact that he feels. I think it was in the presser right before Wolves. He feels that, like Estevao's getting up to speed and he's amazing, but that he feels like Neto does a lot of backtracking and because I agree with Dante said the other day that Estevao does get back and defend. I absolutely agree. Maresca just kind of alluded to the fact that he feels like Neto kind of does more of that work, like tracking back and defending, than
So
Estevao.
Estevao tries to do that. He makes the effort to run back, but there's a difference between just trying to do that and then actually engaging and
Sure.
defending.
And,
Which
and
Estevao,
Maresca kind of alluded to the fact that he feels like that's what Neto also has. So he thinks that
correct,
Estevao will
exactly.
be there pretty soon. But I mean, if you just look at like I almost regret the other night when it took me like a million years to get around to answer Dante's question about who I would start, Neto or Estevao. I almost regret saying Estevao just because Dante makes a great point with the goal contributions, but also, just with Neto just being a little bit more engaged when he gets back on defense. And lest we forget, I mean, who did he completely lock down against PSG? Did he completely lock down Hakimi because
Yeah,
because
Hakimi. And even
because he
when
was getting back
yeah,
and
go
doing
ahead.
all the work? Because he was getting back and doing all the work, and that was him on the left. I mean, it's no different on the right like he does on the right. So if he's got that plus the goal contributions, I don't know. I don't know when Estevao will start, and people just get so mad because it's exciting. He gets your adrenaline up, and you're like, "Well, I want this for the whole game." I get that, but
Yeah.
if you look at everything else and the work rate and the stats, Neto's probably, at least right now, the safe bet. You know what I mean? Until Estevao polishes the rest of his game out just a little bit more. I mean, he's what is he, 18, 19? He's in a brand new culture, a brand new city, like brand new team. He's just young. It's not like I just feel like all these people. If you have a 24, 25-year-old, great, okay, all right, he's ready. But I mean, God, and like 18, I don't think your like frontal cortex is even fully developed yet, right? So it's just like he's
Yeah,
trying
his
to
body's still
protect
changing.
the
He's
youth
still
of
in
him as
growing.
well too. You know what I'm saying? He's still kind of he plays like a grown ass man, but he's still kind of a kid too. We have to remember. So I think Maresca is just really nurturing him, and he has an entire history of just coaching up youth. It's like he knows what he's doing. I mean, I trust him. I'm glad that he's just nurturing him. I think when the time is right, we're just going to see him like fly off on his own, and he's just going to take the world by storm.
Well, as you said, Tony, I think we need to start arguing on and disagree with everything you just said a while ago.
All right, let
What's
me
that?
catch up.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, I think it's time for war.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
but
he's
seriously,
saying.
seriously, I disagree with what you just said, though.
Oh, you disagree?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a
good.
reason why.
All right, let's see. Faith Lawrence
Let's fight. Come on, I'm ready.
says Estevao should be a starter eventually, but I don't think it makes sense to put that much of a pressure on him. We'll have to be systematic about his integration into the squad. Big up, Ty saying big up to Miss Melina. Where she's gone, and Lucila here, Lusala saying I just visited at Miss Melina's YouTube channel. She's an Arsenal fan. Please remind her that her most visitors are Chelsea fans. Really, most recent maybe. Okay, but she doesn't talk about Arsenal alone. She covers other clubs. Hi from Naples. Okay, we'll slug it out soon. Naples man, if that's correct. If there's anything like Naples man, Naples means Napoli, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Naples from
Napoli.
Italy, Napoli, right?
Okay. Well, I'm in America, so I like.
But I don't
I'm
know.
just gonna look at his name and assume it's Italy, but I'm like, I mean, is it Florida?
Yeah, Naples definitely Italy. Yeah, Napoli.
Oh yeah, there's Florida as well. Correct, in America. Yeah.
There's Naples in America.
Yeah, man, Naples, Florida. That's like
Even I know that.
that's where all the rich people go to retire, man.
Okay, Mr. Bruce, Bruco. Which of the? But that sounds Italian. Even the name.
Yeah, his name kind of gives it away. That's probably
means Italy.
Italy.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Gianluco.
Yeah, Bruco Gianluco,
Yeah.
possibly. So, but Brucho, apologies if we're butchering your names. It's foreign to me. I sincerely do apologize. I don't mean. Wish you could, if you're still there, show us how to pronounce it correctly. But I'm guessing you are a Napoli fan, and you want us to talk about. You can say I'm not sure, but nice to see you here. You're welcome. Again, sincere apologies if I butchered your name while trying to pronounce it. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. And Sandy says, I like how they are using Estevao as a spark of the bench. And I love the fire hydrant on Will's Neto. Wow, that's some how do I do this? That's some way to reference them, but good in a good way. Sandy, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Faith Lawrence says, I think Lavia should be sold. It's not going to be easy. I don't think they'd look to sell him just because you can say he's hardly ever fit. And he's stayed fit longer than usual this term. Dante, you understand that you can sports medical sports science, for lack of a more relatable term there. How do you see his situation? Do you think it's something he'd eventually overcome? You know the injuries. I don't know whether it's plural or singular. The injuries or injury that's plagued him for a while now. And yeah, Southampton did run him into the gutter. They
did, yeah.
They played the life out of him. But let's see your thoughts. How do you view it? Do you think it's something he'd eventually overcome? He doesn't have K-leg, right?
He hasn't got K-leg, no. Lavia's problem is too much meat, coach, as Jay would say.
Seriously.
Yeah, so and thanks for making me a sports scientist. That's high praise. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, it's another muscular problem, and I've said that all along. He's going to get muscular problems at this age bracket, the way his body is. Once probably another a year, he should be able to get over those and not get those as much. Of course, he has to look after his body, diet, hydration, whatever, which they do at a high level these days anyway. But because he's got so much muscle at that young age, his body was changing. I did mention I had a teammate exactly the same when I played that, exactly the same thing. It was like, it was so muscly, and he had for like from 19 to 22 when I played, he was always injured. After that, he never had an injury ever again from 22 till he finished playing, basically. So the only reason I kind of know a bit about that, I experienced it with someone I knew, and it's quite common if you look up, if you're quite muscly, you're quite a bit heavier because he is a little bit heavier than normal for his height, size. That's just his body type and his body changing at that age. Because we're talking about Estevao still growing. His
And
body's
the
gonna
club
change.
knows that.
Yeah, so the club knew that it was a risk, but you got
No,
to still
I'm
take the risk.
saying with regards to the case of Lavia, they do know that that's the case, and they're not going to look to sell him.
Of course, they know. I mean, they would have known it's a risk that might happen because they have so much data these days in sports scientists and all that. They would have known that is a possibility and a risk. But the player's that good, you take that risk, and other clubs would have taken that risk. Like Liverpool would have paid for him anyway. So you take that risk sometimes,
Even though
especially when
he
you have
hardly
other
ever
players and you
states
have
me,
depth.
we've heard that United, they're looking to see if we're looking. You can say that they actually inquired if we're looking to sell him. That's if we're to believe the rumors.
Yeah, look, I think he'll be fine. Another year, maybe he should be fine.
Thank you
After
for the
that,
video idea, coach.
I don't think you'll get that many injuries after. Uh, the position he plays as well, it's not that much running, to be honest. It's more, physicality in that, but it's not as much running where he plays. And he hardly ever goes past halfway line, basically sits at very deep. So, it's not that much running. It's just his body changing, growing, and he was a bit too muscular, a little bit, maybe just a touch heavier, but being very, very muscular is not good at that age. And yeah, a lot of sports professionals. That's why a lot of soccer players and football players, they're not.
Yeah. Soccer players, go ahead.
Yeah, they're not. You don't have that much muscle. It's not good to have muscle, too much muscle, because you're gonna get injuries if you do, and that's why most don't have that. Unfortunately, some players have that. It can come in handy later on, but yeah, you're gonna get a lot of injuries at that age bracket when your body's changing. He's gonna get, and I said that when he joined. Remember, I kept saying it. He's gonna have a lot of injuries. I think muscular injuries, from what I see, and that's exactly what's happened with him, unfortunately. So, but look, the good news is I think he'll be over it pretty soon once his body's finished, he's settled, his age. I think he'll be
Yeah.
fine after that, no problem, and we'll have him for a very long time after. I'm pretty certain of that. Yeah.
So
I just want
overall,
to.
you think they'd be patient with him? They're not going to be in a hurry to sell him. Even it wouldn't make sense to try to
You
sell him
can't
now
sell him
because we're
anyway,
not going to
coach.
get
No one's going to
anything
buy
close
him.
to how much we paid
Someone's
for
going to
him.
buy him. They're going to pay 5 million, 10 million, 20 million.
Yeah.
No one's going
So
to
we're
buy
not
it.
going to risk it.
No, and we have depth. We still have quite a lot of players that position. So it's not that, Esugo will come back. That was unfortunate. So we got another one there, Esugo as well, that can play there. Santos can play there. So look, you've got some youth players that can play there as well. So, Reece James can play in there. So yeah, no, he's here for a long time, and I think he'll be fine after next year. His body should be settled, and he should be over those muscular injuries.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on that too. I think if you, first of all, his age, he's 22. He's got, I believe, he's got a ton of time ahead of him. So I totally agree with Dante. Like it's at this age, but he has so much
He's
time
still
left
21,
in his
Tony. He's
career.
21 only still. He's
Oh,
not
okay. I
20.
thought he was 22. Okay,
No, and
even
that's what I
better.
said when he joined 19, 20, 21. I said till probably 22, he's going to have these muscular problems because that's when your body kind of stops develop at
Right.
that 22 age. That's when you're kind of settled as a
And
professional. You're
then
kind of settled 23, 22, 23. You're pretty good. That's it. So, yeah, he's only 21. Yeah, he's still very young. We got him at 19.
And then number two is again, Dante is like we have a lot of cover in midfield. The good thing about Lavi is he is what I might call a luxury utility player.
Of course.
Yeah, we have plenty of depth without him, but with him, he brings something that no one else in our midfield quite has. And it's that vision upfield and those line breaking and press breaking passes and those through balls and
Beating the
the
press, more
charging forward.
importantly.
Right. It's great. Plus, he can do the rest. So we have people that can do the rest, but he has a little niche kind of ability that no one else really has. He's just kind of like a different profile. And I would argue most teams don't have that, not just us. So those are two reasons I wouldn't quite give up on him yet. He's so young, and the ability that he can bring, and we're not going to die without him. But when we have him, like, it brings a lot of extra. Sort of unlocks some extra things for us that we wouldn't have otherwise. It's really great against teams that want to press us and be physical. And then number 3, and I think this is the most important. I think we touched on this before, but I want people to remember Reece James. And it's not just because he had so many injuries and it looks like, he might finally be on a good road and just about back to himself. But it's the bulk that James had at that age. And what happened? He trimmed down, he toned up, he lost weight, and he got more, tone and cut rather than big and bulky. And we're not seeing these things happen to him now, plus with his age. So if that's any sample size or indicator to go by, it stands to reason that why wouldn't you just give Lavi a little bit longer? You have the ability to wait it out. He's very young. Let him trim down. Let him get a little bit older, like another year. And it's just like, and we're not losing that much, right? I mean, it's like all these guys are on long contracts and nobody has a high salary. So, I mean, if somebody comes in and they just want to pay a fortune for him, okay. But,
He's
until that happens,
2030, and he's only on 75K a week, so he's not like on a massive salary either. Yeah.
right. So until that happens, I'm like, why not wait? Let's see how he does. Let's let him get through it a little bit more. Like Dante said, he made it a little bit longer this time without getting injured again. Maybe he's starting to just, kind of get over ride the crest of the wave and like kind of come down off of that, and maybe it'll just level out now. But the beauty of it is we have the luxury to wait. Like, we don't have to sell him. It's not costing us a fortune to pay him, and what he can bring to us that no one else can have. I mean, I think it's worth giving him a little bit longer, especially given his age. And again, I think Reece James is a great example of that. Like, another bulky, muscular guy, kept getting hurt, got to a certain age, toned up, and obviously I'm not saying he's not going to get hurt again, and I'm not going to say that he'll ever be back to exactly what he was in the beginning, but I am saying that at least for a while now, touch wood, he has been consistent and available. We've managed him well. He has not gotten hurt again, and we are seeing some of his best attributes return. So yeah, I mean, what does it hurt us? A lot of people are saying sell Lavia. What does it hurt us, given kind of the criteria that Dante and I have outlined? What does it hurt us to give him a little bit longer and just see, because next thing you know, we're liable to sell him for pennies to someone. He gets over that, and then he's just absolutely rocking and rolling, and we're just like, oh my God, he was right here. I don't want to do that.
He's too talented to let go. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yep. The upside is too high.
He's a good thing is that he's, as you've explained, he will eventually overcome the injuries, but it's painful to see him go off like that. And I can imagine how he feels. He has the passion, not just the skill set. Whenever he's on the pitch, he's one of those that usually urge the fans to be louder, and painful. I like him.
Sandy raises a good comment there. She says, could Lavia need a loan? Sorry, I'm taking your job, coach. Could Lavia need a loan?
Go ahead. No. Feel free. We want co-hosts, so enjoy yourself.
Could Lavia need a loan to a less
careful,
physical
Danny.
league to gain fitness? And at first I was like, but honestly, I mean, I don't know that we'll do that, but I will say this. What were the physicians and some of the sports scientists saying to Reece James for a while there. They were saying you might need, until we worked a miracle or whatever, or just were patient and did the right things and got bulk off of him. They said you might need to go play in a warmer climate like Portugal or Spain to allow your muscles to heal faster, and it's going to be better for inflammation and things like that. And you probably wouldn't get hurt as much. There's a lot more like vitamin D. They were saying all these things, and he didn't go. But that's an interesting. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with that, but I wanted to bring that up. I thought that was worthy of commenting with you guys because it's an interesting thought. Like, if we have the luxury of not having to sell him, do we have the luxury of loaning him for a little bit to a warmer climate while he reduces some bulk some more and is able to heal faster in a warmer, sunnier climate? I don't know, especially Dante, if you know anything about sports science. I don't know. That's an interesting, I like that comment. That's interesting.
Yeah, look, warm weather is better for playing, definitely. That will help, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to change too much. Like I said, at this age where he's going through, his body's changing, it wouldn't have changed too much in my opinion. Yeah, when I played with my friend, like we were in a very warm climate, so it made no difference at all, to be honest. So I think even Reece James is not he's not quite out of it yet, because if Reece James hamstring that he surgically repaired tears again, his career may be over. So Reece James is still, because he's only had really problem with his hamstrings. That was his his problem. Hamstring. He never wanted to have the surgery because him and his family and his team around,
I think he was
they
close
didn't
to
believe
World
in the
Cup at the
surgery.
time.
It was just, they didn't think, they just didn't believe in that philosophy of having surgery on it. But he finally did it. And since then, plus the weight loss and everything, it's, but he's still not quite out of a Reece James, because this, hamstring is a little bit different. So hopefully we never see that. Hopefully it continues this way. But yeah, we talked about
and
that.
he may never be out of it, because look what we've done. We've converted him away from like end to end like winger that he used to be blazing up the side to. Yeah, he gets up, but he's slightly more reserved and he inverts and he plays in midfield. So, I mean, if that's any indicator, I mean, maybe we're protecting him, but we don't play him like the right back he used to play. So maybe we know, like, hey, it could be all over if he does it again. So let's just
100%.
Maybe he needs to reinvent himself permanently, right? Which he's done a great job of, but we may never see 19, 20-year-old Reece James going up and down the sideline again. You know what I mean? But what I love is he still has all of his abilities intact.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's not out of the
for sure
the danger zone. Yeah, because if that hamstring tears, the one that they repaired, his career is pretty much over, basically.
Yeah.
You can't come back. It's very, very rare that anyone's come back from surgically repaired, that you do it again. Well, then it's more genetic. It's a problem that's, so fingers crossed we never see that, because that would be pretty heartbreaking, if that happens.
Yeah, Chimera, even with 100 Jews, thank you for the 100 Jews, Chimera, but still, go away. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Dante, you say something, Ty?
Yes, I was saying I approve this message.
All right. Chimera here says, why am I even reading this? He's going to feel like now, because he gave me 100, he gave us 100 Jews. We're reading his comment. But anyway, he said, who are your delegates? He says, my delegates believe Lavia is a bust. Really? He joined 2023 and has been injured ever since. He has also never played a full 90. Has he?
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you have to
look
up.
Well, how many midfielders do that?
Has he ever played 90 minutes?
Not sure. He probably comes off most of the time.
Off late, it was Fofana that played 90 minutes.
Has whoever played 90?
Sorry.
Has whoever played 90?
Lavia.
Oh, I don't think so. Not
No,
for
he's
us.
never.
I
Never.
think if he had, I mean, it make the news.
No, but that's not a
I think
that's
if he
not a
was,
fair
if he
statement to
did, it
say
was a
because it,
non-televised behind closed doors friendly because I've never seen that in my life.
yeah, but the thing is though, we have to be fair. He's not going to play 90 minutes if you have to be cautious with him. So I mean, but he
I mean, but
hasn't.
it's still telling
He
that he
hasn't.
hasn't. He's
He hasn't.
2023.
He hasn't.
And even though I don't like Chimera, I believe him.
Yeah,
No,
He's
it's
never
very
true.
played.
It's true.
Yeah.
I just look it up. It is true. It is true. Sadly, it is true.
But one thing is certain, irrespective of what anybody thinks, I don't think Chelsea will actually move to sell him now because, as Dante said, you have to sell him for peanuts, and you can't say if he's injured, you can't even sell him. You
correct. You can't
can't.
sell him anyway.
That's the
So
thing. If he recovers, then clubs will be cautious and will be low balling because they would tell you, look, he's hardly ever fit. Why do you expect us to pay that much money? But overall, I don't think we'd be looking to sell him.
and
Yeah.
it hasn't really been a problem. It might start becoming a problem in a couple of seasons if it continues. And plus, he's over the 21. He's always, been 19, 20. He's under that age bracket where it doesn't really matter. You can have him on the other list, the B list and stuff like that. So it didn't matter age-wise. You can have that extra player. Doesn't matter because he's under 21. But, he's going to be turning 22, I think, in January. So from next year, he'll be needed to be added to the proper list, A list. So that'll be, yeah. Then it gets a little bit, more because you can't have that many players, obviously. So, but I still think they'll stick with him. He's still young, like I said. They'll know the injury, they know his body's going through, and yeah, they'll probably, if he gets injured again after that, really bad again, it continues. Well, then maybe, but till that happens, I don't think there's a chance we're selling him. No, and he's not,
All
like I
right.
said, he's not on a big salary. Yeah, it's not really needed. It's fine. He can stick around.
All right, back to the stats. The stats of the game. You can say review proper. Hopefully, you guys still have time. The first half statistics interesting. They had 0 xg, zero shots on target, 0 to 2 shots in the first half. Wolves finished the first half with 0.00 xg, 0 to 2 shots. Of course, 0 shots on target,
Are you making
zero
this?
big chances. Of course, yeah. And
Nothing.
we
Are you
had
Dominating.
making this
11 shots that first half, 1.01 xg that first half, 3 shots on target that first half, one big chance that first half, and one big chance missed that first half. And yet they booed our team.
Well, that's where it doesn't make sense, coach. Exactly. I mean, that's domination. Like,
That's I think we did the same thing to Tottenham, right?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So I'm
Did
just quite.
I think they Wolves did not have a shot on target the entire match, and I'm just
No,
going
I
by
think
the
second half they
At the end, they
did.
had. At the end.
well, I'm going by the eye test here, but I remember at the end they got one shot off, and it still went like a foot wide. But so I'm trying to think
Yeah, they finished the entirety of the game
Sanchez
with
And if
have
zero
they
a
didn't
shots
shot
on
do
on
that,
target.
that would have
Tony
been
is
a
correct.
record. That
have
would
to
have been a
make.
record in a game, in an EPL game, if they didn't
Tony,
get that
No,
shot off.
Tony is correct. They finished. Tony, you're saying shots on target zero, even the second half.
Yeah, because they got one shot off that scared us, and it went like a foot or two wide to the left. I'm not sure that Sanchez had to make a save. I'm not saying that's definitive. Like somebody
The
correct me. I'm just
statistic says he
going off
didn't.
memory.
My goodness. Yeah, Dante. So Tony is right. They had 0 to 2 shots
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
target for the entirety of the game. Zero big chances. Okay, go ahead, Tony. I'll let you draw because the question I wanted to ask, what's the difference? Off the bat, I'd say yeah, because the big guns started. Unlike the cup game where we had, you can say, a lot of not so properly integrated players, which led to us seeing when they started pressing us persistently, we experienced some, you can say, shaky moments or disjointed displays. But go ahead with what you were saying, Tony.
No, that was it. I said it. I said that's what I remember. I could be wrong. I
It
haven't
was
checked
me.
the exact stats on that
I
with the
think you're
shots on
wrong.
target for them
I think you're wrong.
because I saw them get one big shot and I'm like, oh, and that was their best chance and it still went wide left. So I'm trying to remember. I don't recall Sanchez having to make like
No,
a
yeah.
save to prevent a goal, but that doesn't mean it's right. I can't remember.
The
But
only reason I remember that shot, Tony, that you said is because the commentators said on my network that if they didn't have that shot, that would have been the lowest ever in a Premier League game, like in history ever. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay,
So
you
they
you Dante, you were talking about that is the shots they on totality, not if he was on target or
correct.
not.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So if they
Wow.
didn't have the last shot, which equaled three, I think it was a three or two, three, I think.
Yeah, Tony, were you still speaking?
No. That's it.
I was
Okay,
the
that's
one
I'm
that
gonna come
speaks.
back
That's
to
literally
you.
not
Because
purpose.
I'm actually I'm because the only other thing I want to say is just real quick though about but it is about Chelsea is like and the booze and all, it's like I don't understand like we we talked about Tottenham, you know that score line should have been probably 4-0, right? And we're talking about Wolves and yeah we beat them 3-0, that's great, but I mean we are absolutely dominating these teams, but it's like I get it. Like you get nervous if we don't score. The only problem, really, by and large, lately, is the end product, right? The being clinical, right? Finishing chances. Um, but and I know that against Wolves, like we had like 3+ xg. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to. The only thing I don't
I think we're
quite
the top
know, and if
scorers in the
somebody
league, aren't
wants
we?
to save me time, how much xg did Chelsea create against Wolves? Because I know I heard it, but I forget.
3.31. So we slightly underperformed our XG, but round it off, it measures.
Look at that though, like against Wolves. So you said 3.3 xg against Wolves for Chelsea.
Yeah, 3.31 overall. Yeah.
That's comparable to what we did to Tottenham, and we only beat Tottenham 1-0, and we missed a lot of easy chances against them. So Tottenham could have been just like so Wolves. What we saw is probably what should have happened against what we should have seen against Tottenham if we put our chances away. But I mean, if you just look at all the stats, I mean, it's like we don't score and people lose their minds, and I get it makes you nervous. But and yeah, there's something to be said. It was like, oh well, you can have 72% possession, but what does it matter if you don't do anything with it? Like, I get all that. But I mean, in all the stats, we're completely dominating. So if we can just get a few more shots in the back of the net, like, I mean, and I mean, that's how you win, right? You score goals. But I mean, I don't know. Everything else is so dominant. Could we maybe give them a little bit of a break and say, man, the only thing is just, you know, aim your shot a little bit better, and that's a big important thing. But people just get so hung up on that. I mean, we tactically we're just manhandling the. I mean, what is it you do in statistics when you like drop the lowest value out? Like we'll drop the Sunderland match out, right? But if you look at all of our recent matches, like we're absolutely dominating across the stats, and so we just need to put more chances away. It's simple as I think.
I agree. Ty, you want to add to that before I go to Dante?
I was trying to speak 6 minutes ago and I forgot what I was going to say. It's fine. You can go to Dante.
All right, Dante, here's a question.
Poor Ty.
During the match preview show, we did talk, I don't know, maybe at length or maybe a bit, how different this game will be. Whether new manager bounce will be a factor. You did see it differently, but I did also counter argue that irrespective of how we see it, looking at factors that define new manager bounce, like players wanting to impress the new man in charge, whether caretaker manager or not, or maybe change an approach. What's the what was the difference? Why? Because yeah, during the cup game, you could argue. I didn't look at. Let me look at the numbers for that cup game in particular. they had a much better second half and could have, you could say, the game could have gone to extra time and penalties.
Well,
But let's
personnel,
say, what was the difference?
personnel, 10 changes. Yeah, that's different players completely. So
Yeah, off the bat.
yeah, that's straight away different players. Our cohesion between those players, we're not quite there yet. That was very different as well. You
Because,
can't
yeah,
compare that. Uh, like I said, they'll probably line up the same, and that's exactly what they did. They lined up the same with the at five at the back with the three centre backs, and then the two out wide. They lined up exactly the same and did exactly what I thought they would do, which get in there, try to get a point, sit deep. If we score, well, we'll open them up, and we'll probably score more goals then because they will have to try to get a sec. They'll have to try to equalize, and if they do equalize, then they'll go back into the low block. Basically, yeah, that's what they do when they're away from home. They'll do that. So they continue to do that, try to pick up a point, and just try to keep, not get embarrassed, basically, because what's been happening lately. So it's
I didn't
exactly
even
what they did.
for instance, I
And
didn't expect us to get a chance for the third goal. It was a counter.
yeah, well, coach, they had to come out.
They had to, yeah.
He made the substitutions. He made attacking substitutions. Took up out a midfielder, took out a defender. He put a couple of attackers.
Because, yeah, they were already down. They need
So
to
they had
get,
no,
yeah.
yeah, and that's why that first goal is very important, because if we wouldn't have scored that first goal, that game would have ended 0-0. Worst case, they get a chance and they win 1-0. So that first goal, once we opened those teams up, and that's why I said I was actually impressed in that first half, how we were able to open them up a few times while they were in that low block. We should have probably scored 2 goals, in my opinion, in that first half. The rest was difficult because there was so low block. There was difficult to do too much, then pass it sideways and just wait for your opportunity, draw them out, try to entice them to come out a little bit. But yeah, I was still impressed. We were able to still get behind them a couple of times really well. Garnacho should have had a goal. I keep forgetting the other one. He should have had a goal. The other ones were half chances, but I remember we had 2 really good chances. So I was still impressed we were able to do that with such a low block. So I was not worried at all at halftime. I knew we're gonna probably Maresca will tweak a little bit. We're gonna attack a lot more, and we will open them up. I was not worried that we're not gonna win that game, but obviously other people look at it differently. But yeah, I was never worried at halftime. I knew we are gonna win that game in that second half. I was very, very confident. Oh, the coach gone. Ty, you want to chip in?
I don't really think there's anything else I can really add to what you guys said. I would just be piggybacking off what you guys said.
Okay. Yeah. Tony, anything to add? Looks like coach is maybe with the kids.
Yeah, they're back, so it's not gonna be always straightforward like that.
Sorry, I was muted. No, I need to connect my my data analytics software to some of these sites to see if there's a connection available, because it's nice to see stats, but I really love to cross-reference things. So, for example, one of the things I was doing is I was looking at lately, barring Sunderland, on average, we've been creating a lot more expected goals. And I was just looking at, against Ajax, Tottenham, and Wolves, we created 3.3 XG or better.
Are we first in the league for goals?
XG, yeah.
Yeah, XG, yeah, we're first.
Yeah, well, we created 3.3 XG or better. And of course, against Ajax, we put 5 away, so we outperformed our XG. Against Wolves, we put 3 away, so we're about on par. And then against Tottenham, we underperformed, obviously, because we had the highest XG of the year against Tottenham. It was 3.7. We almost had 4 XG against them, but we only put 1 away. So, off the top of my head, I have to look a little while longer, but I was just trying to see if there was any commonality or common thread between those matches as to why we had higher XG. But Anyway, the only other thing I had to add is like, yeah, it's like these low blocks for me, like to keep. I mean, and as these guys get older and more mature and things like that, like they'll be able to keep their nerve better and better all the time with more experience. But especially for now, when we come up against these low block teams, which we've historically struggled with lately, I just think that first goal is critical. Like as soon as Gusto scored that goal, like I wasn't just so happy for him. I almost like I was so elated because I was so happy for his first goal. But
Oh
I
yeah,
knew at that moment when you strike first against those low blocks, they have to come out. And it's like, please come out because now we're really gonna, exploit. And so anytime we come up against these low blocks and we don't score first, like I get kind of nervous.
I think one of the things we did differently yesterday was that we had a lot of our players in the box, tons,
we did. Yeah, yeah.
tons. And when you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that, I
yeah.
think eventually you say you overwhelm them. They nearly scored an own goal too.
What is it?
They
They nearly
nearly
scored an own
scored an
goal.
own
Yeah, yeah.
goal.
And from the corner, Enzo nearly
Mhm.
scored from the corner as well. Yeah.
And one of the crosses, Cape crosses from Enzo Fernandez. So here, AB says that Lavia, Badia, Sheila, Fafana, these guys have hardly played for Chelsea in the past 3 seasons. Badia Sheila, he's played more, but yeah, I think he falls into that category too. Big up to you too, AB. Nice to see you. Faith, Lauren said I feared Fafana. I did too. And at some point, his social media behavior got me thinking that, yeah, he wants out. When Maresca tactics works, it works perfectly. So you're saying when he fails spectacularly. That's all. All right. Last season, I thought Sancho was fast, but I actually like Garnacho. And I want to say this quickly. And Tony, I think Sandy is meaning to say the word you were thinking for was outlier. I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. I think
I
she's
have
saying
to.
that
I'd
she's
have to
trying to help
remember
you.
what I was
Be-
trying to think of.
Probably because you were speaking statistics, so she thought maybe that was what you. Yeah, you were looking. The word you
It's a
were
good
looking
word.
for.
It's good use of the word, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here's one I want to bring up here. Ty, did you know that actually Ganacho was that quick? I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically, that's what he was known for at Man United. Being able to get into the right ears as well. Um, when I saw that comment, it reminded me of that infamous 4-3 win that we had against Man United and how he was moving quickly. Um, I remember the assist that Bruno Fernandez got when he made that crossover to him as well. That is the capability that he has. Um, but the thing is, because of the fact that he's been, as you said, ostracized, actually took the time to look up what the word is. So I'm going to add that to my glossary.
It's a good word. You
Um,
like it, right?
Yes, man. And it seems like it has multiple meanings if you catch my drift. But um, in terms of that, yeah, it's something that he was known for. But because of the fact of what Manchester United were doing, and of course the way he was being utilized, he didn't really have that opportunity to really roam. Because the way that Man United play under Amrim, it's more, it's what's the word? It's compact. There's not much running unless he's trying to get at teams like Liverpool or whatever. It's not necessarily like that. So he didn't really get the chance to really show that. And of course, Ten Hag is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah. How about you, Dante? I didn't know he was that quick.
No, I knew he's quick. Different with Sancho is he's quick with the ball at his feet. So Sancho is a much better dribbler and very quick with the ball at his
But
feet.
in terms of pace,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
even at speed, Sancho is dribbling at speed. He's much better than Sancho than Garnacho. Garnacho is very good. He's fast, but he's not that good at dribbling with the ball at his feet. Uh, but he's definitely more direct, and that's why I keep saying he's a direct winger. He's going to run, hard. He's going to get those balls across the 6 yard box, and he will do well in Maresca's system against certain matchups, especially at teams that are a bit more open. When he'll get a one-on-one, yeah, he's going to do very very well because he's got the speed. He's quick, so he's lightweight, so he's got this, he's got the speed. So, and he's got pretty good endurance as well. He can run quite a lot and get back. very much like Neto, but a much younger Neto, basically. Yes, very similar direct wingers, that type of direct winger. Where Estevao completely different. He's got the technical ability like Sancho, more technical ability, quick dribbling with the ball at their feet. It doesn't look fast, but yeah, when you dribble that fast, that's very very technical, and that can be just as effective as being really quick.
And I'm gonna say, I think I'm not trying to compare them. I know they played on opposing, you could say, opposing sides of the pitch. Um, I think he puts in better crosses into the box with Pedro Neto. He crosses with intent than Neto did. Neto comes across as he just puts it into the box, let the players deal with it. But Garnacho puts the ball into the box with intent and target, maybe. I'm
Yeah,
not
look,
trying to compare them, but that's how I've seen it. And
Net,
go
yeah,
ahead.
Neto's instructed to do what he does. He pulls up on the corner of the box and he puts those diagonal balls. Corrella's at the back post. João Pedro, he's looking for João Pedro most of the time because he's so good in the air. He's got that instruction from Maresca to do that, to look for the lap now as well, and for those players. Yes, Garnacho still kind of learning that a little bit, but he's even at United. If you see a lot of his assists, a lot of them are him just smashing the ball across the 6 yard box, and a lot of like sort of tap ins or stuff like that. So yes, he's very different the way he put, but that's under direct instruction from Maresca to do it from Neto that way, because he can do it the other way as well. But that's just his instruction to do it that way. You see him all the time turning back, cutting back onto this at the edge of the box, and he'll do those diagonals. If he can't get that in, Gusto will do those. If not, Enzo Fernandez will put those across in. So that's a set play we use quite a lot, and it was very effective earlier on in the season as well. So especially now that we've got the lap back and João Pedro can play behind him, that's going to come very much in very handy. That was it was pretty good at the start of the season, and that's why Neto does have such a high goal contribution, because he's involved in those quite a lot. He's involved in those plays a lot. So yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when they say faster comparing Sancho and Garnacho, like, do they mean with their feet? Because I mean, I never thought Jaden Sancho was a fast sprinter. I thought he was actually a little bit slow.
No, I never thought he was quick.
yeah, no, I think he's talking about speed, just
Not
speed, pure
even
speed.
speed,
Like
his pace. I never thought he
like
was. He had
shifty,
pace.
not like sprinting, like up, right? Like not.
Yeah, no, no, but with the ball
Yeah.
at his feet, he can do it quicker than
Sure,
Garnacho.
sure,
And
sure. Yeah, but Garnacho's a faster runner, I think, by a
yep,
country mile. Yeah. But yeah, and with Neto, I mean, I love that Garnacho puts the ball in with intent. I love that. But I guess with Neto's goal involvements, if you have enough guys on there that can get on the end of something, like I guess if you spam enough crosses in, like you're gonna get a lot of output from that.
yeah,
I
we put a
prefer it
lot
with.
on the plate for Enzo Fernandez, for Cucurella, for
Mhm.
the lap at the start. I think
I do prefer with intent, and I think some of the most accurate crossing I've seen has come from. I think the three. Correct me if I'm wrong. The three most accurate crossers I've seen on our squad are Garnacho, but Reece James and Estevao. I think those guys have like. I
Reece
mean,
James probably number one. Yeah.
yeah,
You
but
mean
those
crossing with
those those
intent?
three have like almost when they get it off, like they have almost inch perfect. Like I'd rank our crossers: Reece James, Estevao, maybe Garnacho, and then yeah, and I don't know, like Neto might throw it in there, but I don't think. I mean, I think he has some aim on it. I think he knows where he's going, so probably Neto fourth.
Yeah,
But
at least he knows he's going inside the box.
man, I have just seen like inch perfect crosses from Reece James and Estevao. We're fortunate to have them though.
Yeah. All right, here's then two things. We have something on the screen I want us to address, but let's look at this. Then we end with that one. Fortmob overall rating, we're fourth with 7.0. Top rated Manchester City 7.020. Arsenal 7.08. All in sevens. Goals per match, we're second. Man City 2.1, us 1.9. I think us was 2 point something before. Arsenal third, 1.8. Goals considered per match was seventh. Wow. Okay, not a good thing. Not in a good. Well, Arsenal concedes less. Man City second, you 0.7, hardly ever conceded because it's not up to one. Arsenal, yeah, good defensive record. Us was seventh, but seventh not bad really. Just one per game. Average possession were number two, Liverpool with 60.7, us 59.7.
Well, if you
Clean
take into account
sheets,
our centre back crisis, I think that's pretty good, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, exactly, it is. And we have the second highest number of clean sheets. We have five in total. Arsenal has seven, just two more than us. That's shocking. I didn't expect that. Expected goals 20.7. We're around 1.2 above Manchester City's. That one shocked me. Yeah, shots on target per match 5.62, City's 5.2, and United's 5.1. So in the attacking area, wow, big chances in total 37 for us, 34 for Manchester City, 34 for Crystal Palace. So for big chances missed, we're fifth. Yeah. For accurate passes per match, I think our approach defines that mainly. Accurate long balls per match were fourth. Wolverhampton Wanderers one, Manchester United two, and us, yeah, in the fourth place. My goodness. Yeah. So
I've seen
not
worse.
bad so far. Yeah, except that we have defensive issues, and we know we have defensive issues. So it's easy to complain without looking at the overall metrics for the season so far and see how far we've come and how well we're doing. Unfortunately, yeah, football fans, you know it. But let me just say it. Dante has made me feel like I'm a big deal. Okay. Yeah. The average football fan understands three things: win, draw, or loss, and how they define the team or how they talk about players or the manager, driven by, again, one of those factors, or maybe, yeah. But that's, by the way, the comment we have on the screen that I want us to address is this one. Any thoughts on Cuckoo, the most underrated, overhated player in the league, but not Chelsea fans? I think maybe any Chelsea fan that hates Cucurella at this point must be a knucklehead or somebody that
Wow.
simply
Good use of the word
does.
knucklehead, coach.
Wow.
And there still is quite a few of them, actually.
There are, yeah. I think at first it was the hate for Kukurea was driven by the fact that he dislodged. Maybe is that the correct word?
Yes.
Dislodge.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
is that the correct word to use? Cherwell. Maybe they felt like he took Cherwell's
Oh,
place.
displaced.
Displaced.
Yeah, but you're close.
Displaced.
Displaced.
That, that's
Okay.
a
Jinx. Jinx,
Okay.
Tony
that's
Jinx.
Okay.
that's a adjacent word. Do you guys understand that word? That's
Mhm.
adjacent.
So he displaced Chilwell, and the local fans didn't like that. And I remember making a phone with Jerry Z. I got abused on Instagram, most especially, saying my ball knowledge is minus something something.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
and
gosh.
my argument wasn't that Chilwell is a bad player. Isn't that Chilwell is a bad player? It's that given the way Maresca likes to approach the game, he most likely won't get a chance.
Mhm.
And that happened.
Coach,
Yeah.
in your defense, I have to say this because sometimes our fan base, as I've made clear on multiple occasions, drives me batshit. I have to say this. Um,
You just spoke French.
yes, sorry, sorry, but shit. No, I have to say this. In my experience, when somebody uses the phrase "you don't know ball" or "you don't have ball knowledge," that's just something people say when they don't have an argument. They just want to shut you down because every time test it. If they can't defend their point of view, they'll be like, "You don't know ball." You know ball, coach. Oh, you cut out. Are you
He
muted?
knows a lot of balls.
Oh, I
Oh
did it.
gosh.
Oh man, see.
Oh
I said
God,
it
yeah.
again.
By the way,
Oh,
coach,
I did it. Here I am trying to
remember,
compliment him.
coach,
And
remember
like,
I
oh,
asked you a question and
I'm
you
not
tried to
talking
avoid
to you
it in the
again, okay?
analysis.
I am
You
so
hear
sorry.
my
I'm off my game, Coach. I'm usually right on it, but
No,
so coach,
let me put your mind at ease, Coach. If somebody knows anything about balls, it's you.
no.
okay, that's really the worst, Tony. No.
He's always on the ball.
Oh
Mm.
yes. Oh yes,
Mm.
definitely.
Oh man.
No ball never misses him. He always
Mm.
gets at the end of the balls.
Are you saying he's a great catcher?
Oh yes, he is. There's never one that goes astray. They're always on.
All right.
They always go where they need to.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Coach. We'll reel it in. I apologize.
Here's the thing. Kukureya, he's not perfect. Both one thing he has in common with Showell, they're not good dribblers. They're not really good at beating their man without when there isn't space to run into and beat the man. That's something they have in common. But I
Well,
would
you
take
remember when
Kukureya.
Maresca joined, we picked a list of who's not going to suit his style and who's going to
Yeah.
be pretty much out, and he
Yeah,
was
him and Desassi we knew were in trouble. Desassi's
and
case was
Sterling.
just down to the fact that under the slightest of pressure, he panics and makes silly mistakes. But if he has a lot of space, he comes across as being good on.
On the ball. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Not as good as Coach.
When he puts his foot over the ball, he's pretty good.
He has that title forever.
Go ahead, go ahead, Dante. What you were saying. So we knew immediately. That doesn't mean he's a bad and that Chilwell is a bad footballer, but we knew, given the way Maresca likes to approach the game, even though both and great dribblers, Kukurea has a lot more to his game. Overall, his approach does come across as erratic, but still he gets the job done on such as the opposition player. And but one thing that stands out is his ability to find passing lanes where you don't know one exists. We knew that before time. That was the edge, the main thing he has over Ben Chilwell. But go ahead, Dan.
And fitness and recovery.
And
Coach.
recovery, yeah.
Yeah, if Ben Chilwell's up the pitch, he's not running back to defend. He can't get back in time because doesn't have the same, drive. The same. He's actually quite a little bit heavier as well. Obviously, Ben Chilwell. So yeah, he can't do that. You can't ask that of him to do that. Yeah, he would have probably torn both his hamstring if he did what Cucurella does in this system. He's just not suited to the system at all. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. You see what Tony started. Okay, let's read it.
Yeah, you got to read the comments, Coach.
I'm not reading everything I see there. I will not. Definitely. Makuku, Anu
AB, whoever you are, if you just donate to the stream, Coach will have to read it. There's a little protest.
No. If you guys are not gonna drag me into hell. I have a very dirty mind, and it takes the slightest of some, you can say, porn words.
Send a super chat. He has to read it.
No, I won't. I will not. Matt Kuku, Anu Aspi, maybe not most underrated, but definitely overhated. I don't listen. I think those that hate him are in the minority right now. Honestly, not majority. Southgate underrated him. Who exactly? And I asked who is Sandy referencing?
Oh man. I don't know, Coach, but that comment section, it's wilding out.
I'm not reading it. But Maya, thank you. Nice to see you, and thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate you for doing that.
When I first read that, I thought it said reported this stream. I was like,
no, he cannot report it. We haven't said anything that would
I
lead
that
to it
The
being.
S and the R. The S and the R. It looks like.
We haven't said anything to that, and I think YouTube knows the brand very well. We haven't said anything that will lead to the channel being blocked. No, we haven't. We just, you can say, naturally having fun. Yeah, you read that to yourself. I'm not reading it.
Yeah. I mean, this is ball talk, no matter how we try to get around it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
They understand that.
They don't know. When the last time, no, No, Ty, don't do that.
Mm.
Don't.
Mm.
Lawrence thinks I says that I think Chelsea need to know how to score from set pieces, just like Arsenal. I think we've done pretty well this season.
Yeah, we've
How
scored a
many
lot
goals
of
from
goals
corner
from set
kick?
pieces.
4 or 6?
7, I think we've
7
scored.
from corner kick. We've
Whatever
done,
it
Set
is,
piece.
it dwarfs the past few
But-
seasons. I guarantee it.
yeah, but in one game we scored 3.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
What
But
was
even
that
at
one?
that, I think with that
3
that
set piece
aspect
goals.
has
Which one was
improved.
that one?
I think was that the Wolves game?
No, Wolves. It was it West Ham? I think it was West Ham United. Was it?
Anyway, I remember we had 7, which is double than we had a whole last season, basically.
So I don't remember.
We put so many balls past West Ham. I lost track of how many were set pieces.
All right. Okay. What else do we have here?
What time is it there, Coach, for you? It's
No,
that
for
time
me
of night?
it's 16. I think we've covered pretty much everything. I don't know if the panelists are, again, if you're in the chat and you have any question and then not
Tony, where are you in the States? Where are you about? Where I can't remember.
Who?
What is it?
Tony, where are you in the States?
I think neighboring state.
Yeah, I'm in the States. I'm one state over from Coach. I'm in
That's
Colorado.
what I meant. I mean, where
Coach
are
is
you in
Texas.
America? Yeah.
No, I'm in
Close by?
Colorado. Coach is in Texas. I'm in the mountains.
Ah, nice.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Very, very high altitude.
In the
up
mountains,
here, so
yeah.
If I ever talk crazy, I'm just gonna, and you guys are like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm just gonna blame it on the altitude, man. It's different up here.
Well, we'll know
Oh.
when you're losing it, and then we'll run. I'm AB, leave me alone, please. Tomorrow, definitely. Tomorrow in the evening. The only time we'll stream at odd hours will be for pre-game shows, post-game shows if we do it immediately. But I don't like doing post-game shows immediately because the space is usually crowded at the time, and because we're not a big account yet, we'll just be fighting with the bigger account. But we'll get there eventually.
No,
we don't like doing.
I just to comment on that, like, because I thought about that. I thought, why don't we do it the same day or right after? But honestly, I kind of like this next.
No, we
day
could have
stuff.
done it yesterday actually, but I had to go to the airport to pick up the gang.
I kind of like way later after the match. Like usually a lot of these big accounts will do like instant reactions, but I kind of like way later in the day or even the next day, because the more I thought about it, I'm just like, when you have some time to just come off the adrenaline of like a really bad match or a really good match, like I feel like you can think a lot more clearly. You know what I mean? It's not all raw emotion.
Yeah. No, Sandy, we're not doing that. I want to go to heaven, okay? The meaning has changed. The meaning of that.
I think you should change your channel name to Ball Talk.
Even people will understand, but right now,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, perception has changed the meaning.
We're just talking ball.
Yeah, because I have a very dirty
mind.
The
intro with the guy carrying the big balls around, didn't you see? The intro and the outro.
I remember somebody coming out to joining the chat and talking about it. But these days I do take that one off. But that's, by the way, any questions from the panelists so we can call it a day. I think it's been an excellent discussion, please.
Great discussion, guys. I got to go anyway, so take care, guys.
Take care, Don.
So let's just call it a day. So I want to say thank you to Dante, thank you to Tony and Ty. And again, please, Tony, when next you're joining, use your Instagram, use your X. So that way, when we're not highlighting anything, people will see it and then go.
I'll probably use my X handle. I'll probably get a different account to use my X handle then, right?
Okay.
I don't know that my personal X account is like it's gonna jive with like Chelsea football. Like we're gonna get into like
change it. I think
religion, politics, and so I'll just do a different account.
Okay. All right. So I want to say thank you to Tony, thank you to Dante, thank you to Ty, thank you to Faith, Lawrence, thank you to Sandy. AB was here, Chimera was here, gave us 100 Jews. Real Maresca and Maya, the rapper, thank you for reposting the stream. Ty also, the link to Ty's YouTube channel. Tony, I don't know if you subscribed to Ty's channel. You might want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, Sandy, all of you, and if I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and Cheers.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah. Bands didn't show up today.
Still blue. Mm-hmm. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue.